This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
Super Bowl XXXV took place on January 28, 2001, as the Baltimore Ravens faced the New York Giants at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. The Ravens were coached by Brian Billick in his second year as a head coach. They finished the regular season 12-4, which was only good enough for a wild card bid as Tennessee won the AFC Central with 13 wins. Baltimore was a defensive juggernaut, only giving up 165 points in 16 games, which included 4 shutouts during the season. The only games the team lost were ones in which their offense failed to score a touchdown. The Giants had the best record in the NFC at 12-4 under head coach Jim Fassel. New York hoped to enter the game with momentum after destroying the Vikings 41-0 in the NFC Championship game. This audio recording is from the CBS radio broadcast featuring announcers Howard David, Matt Millen, and Boomer Esiason.
And in New York, it's played big. It's got a lot of publicity and all that, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
And maybe he'll make some nice cash from it. The Giant among us will be coaching against perhaps his best friend in the business, Brian Billick. Boomer and I will chat with the Birdman next. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl XXXV on Westwood One.
Let's go!
This is Steve Kerr. Follow the Spurs this season right here.
1300, let's go!
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tommy Ty. Getting here with the program puts you on a different level among your brethren. Winning places you in an esteemed group that includes such legends as Lombardi, Noel, Shula, Landry. Brian Billick can put himself in the same breath if his defense comes up big again. The challenge, he explained to Boomer and me, comes with the unpredictability New York's offense possesses.
Just the fact that they are balanced. Teams that have made a mistake against our defense have come in and become one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. If you arbitrarily give up on the run and just figure what the heck we're not going to be able to and just try to throw the ball, there's not a lot of future in that. And so the teams that have fared the best are those that have tried to maintain a certain amount of balance, and I know Jim's committed to that balance.
You know, going into this game, Brian, many people, especially in New York, have been talking about your last game against the Jets, the games you played against the Jaguars, where they spread you out and kind of caught you off balance. And then all of a sudden, talking to Jim Fassel, he said, well, it seems like they might have been a little bit off balance in those situations, but they've rectified those things. Could you see Jim coming out and doing a no-huddle, a 2-minute thing, spreading you guys out early in the game?
Well, I think it's important to note we won both those games, and I know Jim very well. Any team that wants to come out and throw the ball 70 times against us, have at it. We'd invite you to do so, because I don't know, to become one-dimensional that way, I don't know that that's the way to get it done. I don't know that that's their personality. Jim's getting the same advice I am, because we take counsel from many of the same people. You've got to do what you did to get here. And if you try to change your personality dramatically in one way or the other, that usually catches up with you. If they choose to come out and want to air it out all day long, then that's fine. We're certainly prepared for it. This defense, if it senses that it's forced you into one thing or the other, it kind of feeds off that.
There's one individual everybody knows, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Ray Lewis. Why has he become the player that he's become this year?
Well, I think a lot of people have to remember how young Ray is. With all the Pro Bowls he's had, a lot of people, I think, view him a little like Jonathan Ogden, like he's a vested old-time veteran that has seen it all. Both of them are relatively young players, and so there's still a learning curve. And I think Ray has reached that point. Boomer, as you know, there comes a point in the league where you play well, you get comfortable, and then you take that next step. There's an awareness of what's going on around you. As great as Ray Lewis has played to go to the Pro Bowls the last couple of years, this year, that level of awareness of the entire scheme of the defense, what his responsibilities are, where everybody else needs to be, what he needs to look at when he looks at film, and what reads he's looking at. I've never been around a player that reads and reacts as well as Ray Lewis does.
When you were in Minnesota, I'm sure as an offensive coordinator, you sat up in front of these guys, look, we have a chance to break the overall scoring record in the NFL and probably use that as motivation. Now I'm sure that you go in there and you probably say, hey guys, look, we have a great defense, we have a good running back. All we have to do is manufacture those yards and eat up those clock, when we need to have that done. And that's exactly what they're doing for you.
It also goes back to the idea that what does it take for us to win? Any offensive group sure would like to have the big numbers. And it's kind of funny. I get a kick out of it because when I've been with some offenses in Minnesota that have generated incredible numbers, the thing anybody wants to talk about is, yeah, but are you going to win? Mm-hmm. Are you winning? Mm-hmm. And even in the 98 year, a 15-1 year, a year where we broke the all-time scoring record, the thing that hangs over it, that people, when they want to get to me a little bit, and God forbid somebody wants to do that. Right. But it's all great. You generated all these numbers, but did you win? Did you go to the Super Bowl? And that's a legitimate observation. I find it interesting now that in dealing with people, it's, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl, but your numbers aren't what you'd like for them to be. I'm very comfortable with this team's about. If nothing else, you have to adapt to the talent that you have.
How much do you think special teams will play a part in today's game?
I think it's going to be huge. I think when you look at an offense and a defense that balance each other the way they do, yards are going to be tough to come by. They're an outstanding defense as well. Special teams, and that's a cliche to say, obviously, but I think special teams, and it doesn't even have to be a huge play in special teams. It doesn't have to be a kickoff return for a touchdown or block, punt, anything of that nature, but the field position game, something that has played into the equation for us. We play great defense. We chew up the clock offensively. When we need to, we take the ball off the shadow of our goal line. Or we may only move 20 or 30 or 40 yards, maybe don't get into scoring position, but Kyle Richardson leads the league in getting punts inside the 20. So we put that offense facing 80, 90 yards, and that's a tall task facing our defense. So the whole team is interacting in that way, and that's why we're here.
Trying to make history. For joining us as guests, the Raven and Giant coaches and players we chatted with will receive 500-minute calling cards courtesy of Net2Phone. Net2Phone, changing the way you communicate. When I return, needing a ray of hope last spring, he shined this fall. Ray Lewis up next. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
How does the Rubbermaid storage shed compare to an untreated wooden shed? Well, this is a baseball bat striking the Rubbermaid shed. A bat striking the wood shed. Termites tasting the Rubbermaid shed. Termites tasting the wood shed. Your teenage son backing into the Rubbermaid shed. Backing into the woodshed. Remember, if it doesn't say Rubbermaid, it's not worth it.
Big Blue has discovered the magic of playing in New Jersey. Shouldn't you? Stroll along white sand beaches. Feel like a pro on plush green fairways. Explore the path of the American Revolution by day, or catch the excitement of Atlantic City by night. Just make sure to leave time for some world-class shopping and five-star dining. New Jersey, it's your ticket to the perfect vacation. For your free travel guide, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ, extension 1944. That's 1-800-VISIT-NJ. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan has the most available horsepower of any minivan you can buy. Now, obviously, you're not about to drive your Caravan like a Viper, so why should you care how much power a minivan has? Oh, if, say, you'd like to merge onto the highway or pass a truck, and with available all-wheel drive, the Caravan can also make quick work of the elements. The all-new Dodge Caravan. Powerfully, grippingly different.
Is your job getting in the way of your love of sports? Imagine, you could be spending the afternoon at a favorite athletic event. Instead, you're stuck at your desk making a living. But not if you have Arch Webster 100 wireless email service and the Motorola T900 communicator. It lets you read and reply to all your business emails from anywhere in the U.S., especially a nice warm stadium seat. Call Arch at 1-866-ARCH-123. That's 1-866-ARCH-123.
Welcome back, everyone. Tommy Time with Super Bowl 35 from Tampa. If you like defense, get on board. These two teams have allowed the least amount of points to their opponents in a playoff round ever. The Baltimore Ravens facing the New York Football Giants. The NFC champs have a solid aggregate with several very good players. Sehorn, Barrow, Strahan, Armstead. The AFC winners, however, have one player who stands out among the many talented folks around him. Linebacker Ray Lewis is being mentioned in the same breath as many of the all-time greats who once patrolled this position. What puts him so close to those already enshrined in Canton?
It's my love for what I do. It's what I'm blessed to do. It's what the man upstairs has given me. And for me to have that, it's like saying, hey, if you want to watch a guy who just comes to work every day, you know, they pay me to work Monday through Saturdays. Sundays are for free.
Unfortunately, that ray of sunshine he possesses on the gridiron went dark a year ago this week.
Another pro football player is facing a charge of murder. All-pro linebacker Ray Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens is jailed without bond in Atlanta, charged in the deaths of two Ohio men. He says he didn't do it. The men were stabbed outside an Atlanta bar where a post-Super Bowl party spilled out into the street.
A court appearance soon followed. Assistant DA Clint Rucker.
Could you state your name for the record?
Ray Anthony Lewis Jr.
At this time,
I would like to ask you, Mr. Lewis, how do you plead to one count of obstruction as contained in the accusation 00SC06574?
But because he decided to testify against two of his associates,
the party has pre-tried this agreement with the court, and subject to its acceptance by the court, will make a recommendation that the court impose a 12-month sentence against the defendant, Ray Anthony Lewis, to be served on probation.
allowing him to return to the sidelines. Having his best season ever, Lewis was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year, helping lead his club to their first appearance in the game the players call the ultimate. With that comes national notoriety and 2,700 credentialed journalists from all over the world looking for a tale to be told. Many look to Lewis, who could have been a distraction to his teameates as reporters badgered him about the past. He believed all the hoopla about that difficult period in his life would not allow him to lose his focus.
I don't see where it should be a pain for me. You know, my focus is when I came here to come try to win a Super Bowl. I'm not here to try to justify anything that went on, because that's the story in my book that's float, regardless of whatever situation or whatever questions come up. The thing is, you know, it was always based around me, and it's not about me. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not here to focus on Ray Lewis. What Ray Lewis went through, that was a year ago. Let it go.
To discuss what we should be speaking about this week.
Our defense, our team, the obstacles that we overcome all year, being underdogs all year, the thing Trent has done. We stayed together through all the trials, through all the going through this, going through that, scoring slump, everything. That's what the Super Bowl is about. The Super Bowl is about you pick two of the best teams out of 31, and you say, now we find out who the best in the world.
With him anchoring the league's best defense this season, considering the many records this group has set, could they possibly be the best ever?
Yeah, definitely. I think stats speaks for that. I think our play speaks for that. And I think what we've accomplished this whole year by getting to the Super Bowl, I think we can claim that label. Stats is there. Fewest points allowed, things like that. So, I mean, those are things that, regardless of the situation, we've improved ourselves all year. And now we're at the big dance.
When he hopes to step up and help his team waltz or tango to a title. Still ahead, it's almost here. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
And will always take risks, and parents will always worry about them. But thankfully, because of plastic safety helmets and protective gear, we can all breathe a little easier. On the ice rink or in the playing field, plastic is tough enough to absorb the shock and flexible enough to get up and try again. We can't protect our children forever, but we'll always try.
How has plastic touched your life? The American Plastics Council. Plastics make it possible.
How does America get back to business? Taking care of business. At Office Depot, you'll find everything your business needs to start the new year. From files to folders, boxes to binders, cabinets to copy paper. Nobody sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot. So whether you visit our store, shop online, or order by phone, you'll find guaranteed low prices every day on everything you need to succeed. Office Depot, official sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
When you watch the game from a Toshiba HD TV, you feel as if you're actually part of your favorite team. With the Power Focus optic technology, you'll have a picture equivalent to a view from the sidelines. And with the new IDSC2 scan conversion system, you'll be able to make better calls than the referees. Football becomes so alive on Toshiba HD TV. You may feel a little wet after they dump that cooler full of water on the head coach. Toshiba HD TV. Your team will love you for it. Toshiba, it's that kind of love.
Welcome back, everybody. Tommy Tighe at Super Bowl 35. The New York Giants, the NFC champions, going up against the AFC champion, Baltimore Ravens. Super Bowl Sunday. An interesting factoid for this one. The Ravens 9-0 when they lose the coin toss, while the Giants 9-1 when they win the toss. So something has to give right here. A couple other factoids before Soup's on. Cost of a ticket to Super Bowl I, $6. Cost of a ticket to today's game, $350. An estimated 30 million people around the world are listening to us right at this moment. A couple other records to look forward to. 12 million potato chips, 4 million pretzels will also be consumed, along with a record 22 million avocados. Pizza sales skyrocket, believe it or not, to 43% better sales today than on any given Sunday in the year. And right now is probably the best time to go to a movie if anybody's on their way to the movie right now. Who's going to be there? Well, that's anybody's guess. Now, for the first time in 10 years, Tampa, Florida hosts the Super Bowl. The official beginning to the contest starts with nationally known recording artist Ray Charles singing America the Beautiful. Let's join my good friend Greg Gumbel of CBS Sports with the formal introduction. One more thing to consider.
2001 marks 225th birthday of the United States. And with us to celebrate by singing America the Beautiful, 15-time Grammy Award winner, the legendary Ray Charles.
B-2 flyover hitting the stadium. Raymond James. A beautiful sight. Coming after America the Beautiful by Ray Charles. Speaking of spacious skies, we have an outstanding day to play football. Now let's go back and rejoin Greg Gumbel as we get set to go to the national anthem.
Here at Tampa's MacDill Air Force Base. We are proud to have with us today veterans of that conflict, representing the thousands who gave so much for our country. They are led by a true American hero, Desert Storm Commander-in-Chief, retired Army General Norman Schwarzkopf. And now, to honor all those brave American men and women, please join in the singing of our national anthem, which will be followed by a flyover by the United States Air Force's Thunderbirds. The anthem, produced by Ricky Minor, will be signed for the hearing impaired by Tampa's Tom Cooney. Ladies and gentlemen, the world's most successful pop group, Florida's own, the Backstreet Boys.
Worth
larger than life, the Backstreet Boys, followed by the Air Force Thunderbirds. We're about 5 minutes to kickoff. This has been the Nobel Super Bowl 35 pregame report on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One, brought to you by Nobel, the power to change. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Big Blue has discovered the magic of playing in New Jersey. Shouldn't you? Stroll along white sand beaches. Feel like a pro on plush green fairways. Explore the path of the American Revolution by day, or catch the excitement of Atlantic City by night. Just make sure to leave time for some world-class shopping and five-star dining. New Jersey, it's your ticket to the perfect vacation. For your free travel guide, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ, extension 1944. That's 1-800-VISIT-NJ. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
This Sunday, nobody works harder than the guys on the football field. But every other day of the week, quality care professionals at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealerships are hard at work because we're open for service Monday through Friday and now even Saturday. From headlights to taillights and everything in between, it's easier than ever to keep your car or truck running like new. You'll get parts designed for your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury, and they'll be installed by factory-trained technicians. That's quality care service, even on Saturday, at participating Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury dealerships.
Is your job getting in the way of your love of sports? Imagine, you could be spending the afternoon at a favorite athletic event. Instead, you're stuck at your desk making a living. But not if you have Arch Webster 100 wireless email service and the Motorola T900 communicator. It lets you read and reply to all your business emails from anywhere in the U.S., especially a nice warm stadium seat. Call Arch at 1-866-ARCH-123. That's 1-866-ARCH-123.
Geico Auto Insurance customers are frugal people. They value $1, and they save a lot of them by switching. To prove my point, I'm joined by a real live customer, Erica Willis. Erica, will you give me $10,000?
No.
There. Proof that Geico customers do not like to part with any more money than they have to. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. You could keep 15% or more of your money. 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Tommy Tighe. I'll be back at intermission with the Nobel halftime report. My guests will include NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue and Kansas City Chiefs coach Dick Vermeil. But right now it's time for Super Bowl 35 on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One. The Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. Let's rejoin the three men calling all the action for you today. Howard David, Matt Millen, and Boomer Esiason. Have a good one, fellas.
All right, Tommy, thank you. The captains for the Ravens, Shannon Sharp, Ray Lewis, and James Trapp. For the Giants, Kerry Collins, Ron Stone, Mike Strahan, Jesse Armstead, and Lomas Brown. The referee for today is Jerry Austin in his third Super Bowl. And the celebrity toss of the coin featuring four men who have been here in Tampa for Super Bowls. Super Bowl 25 when the Giants beat the Bills. Bill Parcells, the head coach of that team, and Otis Anderson, who rushed for 101 yards and was the game's MVP. And Super Bowl 18, the Raiders beat the Redskins 38-9. The MVP was Marcus Allen, his head coach, Tom Flores. Those gentlemen at midfield about ready to toss the coin for today's game, Super Bowl 35, between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Ravens. And O.J. Anderson epitomized the will of the Giants in that Super Bowl victory, of course, best remembered for wide right by Scott Norwood.
With us from the 1984 Los Angeles Raiders,
Our former head coach, Tom Flores, and running back, Marcus Allen. And from the 1991 New York Giants, former head coach, Bill Parcells, and running back, Otis Anderson. You get the idea as we listen in to Greg Gumbel, our colleague handling the introductions. You get the idea there's probably about 60% plus Giant fans versus about 40% Ravens fans. Let's go down to the toss of the coin. Jerry Austin.
35. It is represented by the Lombardi Trophy and the two helmets. Baltimore is the visiting team. Who's going to make the call? What is your call? Heads is his call. Coach Flores, would you make the toss? It is the tail. You'll win the toss. Which direction? Step over here, please.
So the Giants have won the toss of the coin, fellas. If you're the Giants, you get an opportunity to strike first.
And you also have an opportunity, if you're a Baltimore Raven, to get your strength of your team on the field right away and set the tone. Remember, this goes back to what we said right from the beginning. Let's see how
Jim Fassel decides to play this game. This is the strategy that will decide the outcome of this Super Bowl, to see whether or not he'll let Kerry Collins spread his offense out and start throwing the football and gain some momentum and confidence as the game goes on.
Bad news for the Giants. When the Ravens lose the toss of the coin, they are 9-0.
And according to Tommy, conversely, when the Giants win, they're 9-1. Something's got to give.
That's right. How about let's go downstairs to James Lofton. James?
Guys, I'm down here with Marcus Allen. Marcus, do you even remember who won the coin toss when you played in the Super Bowl?
First time I really started wanting to play again because it was pretty exciting out there. I felt the energy, James.
Now, are you ever surprised that your record for that long Super Bowl run has held up this long?
Well, you expect it, obviously, every year there's somebody to break it. But what I do is call all the running backs each year, and I said, listen, I want you guys to have an outstanding game, but I would like to remain in the record book just a little bit longer.
Well, I don't know if they get a run off that long. Marcus, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, James.
Talked to George Toma, the grounds crew guru before the ball game. He said this turf is fast. He said it may get a little moisture as the dew works its way in the course of the evening, so it's going to be fast early and slippery late. Just like the guys up in the booth.
Exactly. That's a James Lofton track we're talking about here.
Yes, it's absolutely a beautiful field. George Toma did a great job before the game. We were walking down there, Matt. I mean, this is like a carpet in a living room.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, and just a little tidbit of information for Marcus Allen. You know, Marcus Allen was a complete stiff until I taught him how to run in this particular game.
Same shifty moves.
You got it.
As you I asked, I'll tell you that. Hey, Matt, how do you run?
As you dodged in and out of the warming trays in the dining room. Well, Matt Stover, who's had the most points of any kicker in the league this year with 135, will be kicking it off to either Ron Dixon or Damon Washington. And we remember Ron Dixon against the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional playoff game when he went coast to coast for the touchdown to start the game.
You know, and the interesting thing is, talking to Jimmy McNally and Mike Pope, the offensive line coach and the tight end coach for the Giants, he said, you know, we've been watching a lot of film of these guys. A whole bunch of teams have started inside the 20-yard line. Makes it awful difficult for any offense to march 80 yards consistently, especially when you're playing against the best defense in the NFL.
Well, that just goes to what we talked about earlier, Boom, just in terms of field position, but the returners, the respective returners for both these teams are going to be big, not only in the kickoff and in return game, but also the punt return game.
The Heat sure start of the game, sponsored by Heat Gasline Antifreeze. Cold engines start with Heat. And Stover to kick it off as the flash bulbs go off around the stadium. It'll be Dixon at the 5, angling left to the 15 to the 20 and hit down at the 22-yard line. Tackle on the play, O.J. Brigance. And the Giants go on offense under the leadership of Kerry Collins. A rags to riches story who threw for over 3,600 yards this season. Had a huge game against the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC title game that turned it into a joke. 41-0, only the joke was on the Vikings. The Giants are going to go with 3 wide receivers, including Dixon, Hilliard, and Toomer. Tiki Barber and Greg Camella in an eye. Dixon goes in motion. We might have a loose ball and a flag also at the same time as Jamie Sharper came up with a loose ball, but I think the play has been blown dead before it started.
You're going to have encroachment on the defense, I think, unless one of those offensive linemen move to bring those guys across the line.
Looks like Hamilton jumped inside, but we'll see if they were drawn off.
I think it's got to be on the defense here, Matt.
I'm sorry, not Hamilton, but
either Goose or Sam Adams.
Yeah.
5 yards. It's still first down.
All right, let's go over the offensive line for the Giants. Lomas Brown, who's been to 7 Pro Bowls. He's had a huge impact on this team from a leadership point of view. Luke Pettigrew, the right tackle. Glenn Parker, 16 postseason games, the former Buffalo Bill. And Ron Stone, off to his first Pro Bowl, the guards. Dusty Ziegler, the former Buffalo Bill, the starting center. Howard Cross, Dan Campbell, Pete Mitchell are the tight ends for the Giants. And Mitchell in the game right now, lined up on the right side. 1st and 5
for the Giants. Might be a good gambling down as Collins play action. Throws it over the middle. It is tipped and nearly picked off. They were looking for Mitchell at the 35-yard line.
You know, the one thing that I've already seen from the Giants, they're getting in and out of the huddle rather quickly, Matt. Now, the Giants play an offense where there's a lot of shifting and motioning, and the reason that you do that is to try to confuse the defense. But conversely, on the other side, the defense is extremely simple for the Baltimore Ravens to run from a scheme standpoint.
You're also going to see some long counts because this Baltimore defense likes to really jump the count.
The Ravens front four of Burnett, Adams, Saragusa, McCrary, the linebackers Bulware, Lewis, and Sharper, the corners Starks and McAllister, Harris, or rather Herring and Woodson, the safeties. They go inside the Barber, and he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage by Jamie Sharper, the right side linebacker who had good penetration.
All right, you're looking at about a 3rd and 4 now. This is manageable for the Giant offense. These are plays and situations where you run your base offense, and Kerry was very good against the Vikings in this exact situation.
Interesting that on the first down they went to the tight end, which I would expect would be good for them today, and try to work on the underneath stuff because I don't really like their match outside, although you're going to have Starks right now on Amani Toomer with he has safety top help over the top.
Juravicious in the game, a speedster. Collins out of a shotgun. 3rd down, about 5. Collins back, throws deep down the left side. There's contact, and the ball is nearly picked off by Kim Herring, who had a shot at making the game's first turnover on the pass downfield to Joe Juravicious.
But you also had Sharper right in the face. And this is what we talked about right at the beginning, Boom. The quarterback that handles the pressure the best will be the one who has the best chance to win. Sharper came on a blitz to the inside. They matched up man to the outside, and Collins just threw it. He was lucky he didn't have himself a pick.
Brad Maynard to kick it away to Jermaine Lewis, who had 2 returns for a touchdown against the Jets in the final regular season game. The only man ever to do it twice. And the punt by Maynard is a short but high kick. Fair catch called for by Lewis, who gathers it in at the 37-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. Only a 37-yard punt.
And field position after the first series, field position goes to the Baltimore Ravens.
Matt, you talked about ironclad will. That's exactly what Kerry Collins is going to have because he's almost had 2 balls picked off already. This is exactly the way the Baltimore Ravens want to start the game. Great field position for their offense. Let's see if Brian Billick opens it up a little bit here.
Giants have Strahan, Peter, Hamilton, and Jones, the front four. Trent Dilfer, who took over as a starter on October the 29th against Pittsburgh, in at quarterback. Lewis and Holmes, the running back. Dilfer back out to the left. The catch is made by Priest Holmes for a pickup to the 41-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. Their offensive line, Pro Bowler Jonathan Ogden, the left tackle. Harry Swain, the former Bronco and Charger, at right tackle. Mulatello and Flynn, the guards. Jeff Mitchell at center for Baltimore. Their tight ends, of course, are Pro Bowl caliber Shannon Sharp and Ben Coates. Kadri Ismail, Jermaine Lewis, Brandon Stokely, the wide receivers. We will see in and out of this game. We'll give you the Giant defense in a moment. Dilfer going to throw on 2nd down. Loads up left, throws right through the hands of Kadri Ismail, who was defended by Dave Thomas. And you fellas said it early on. They're going to go to Thomas right away.
Well, they are going to go to Thomas, and he had Ismail covered perfectly. He was underneath like he read the route. A dangerous throw by Trent Dilfer, but what I notice here is that Brian Billick is going to let Trent Dilfer have a few opportunities early on in this game.
Go ahead and make that throw, and he's going to put it on his shoulders. Here they're going to come out with 3 straight passes. They've got to throw here.
2 tight ends, although Shannon Sharp is the same as a wideout. Trip receivers to the right. 3rd down and 6 for Baltimore. Dilfer back, looks right, throws right under duress. And he throws it away. And there was pressure coming from Dilfer's right-hand side.
You know, Matt, I don't mean to laugh, but it seems like this is exactly what everybody in the country is expected from this game. That the quarterbacks are going to get beat up pretty good. That time, Trent Dilfer gets hit right underneath the chin and throws the ball away. But here we go, field position. And this is where Richardson has been absolutely wonderful during the season, hitting his opponents inside the 20-yard line.
Kyle Richardson had kicked it. Tiki Barber, he's got that left forearm heavily taped up. Fair catch is called for, and Barber fields it safely at the 13-yard line. And now the chipping starts every now and again.
Inside the 20 again, and Richardson just absolutely terrific this year, the best in the NFL at pinning his opponents inside the 20-yard line.
That's a 46-yard kick. There's no score in the first quarter. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
Me? I'm what they call a sinus sufferer. Well, I used to be anyway, because I finally figured out how to deal with sinuses that were driving me crazy. The moment I feel that very first sign of sinus pressure, I take Sudafed. Boom, no waiting around. No, I'll think about it. Taking Sudafed at the first sign of pressure releases pressure and helps prevent escalation to sinus pain. I take Sudafed sooner and tell sinus pain later. Take non-drowsy Sudafed at the first sign. Use as directed.
Longhorns Limited, the ultimate store for Longhorn fans. Burnt Orange isn't just for T-shirts. Longhorns Limited has style. Hawaiian shirts, ladies wear, youth and infant apparel, and the biggest selection of UT caps on the planet. Longhorns Limited opens 7 days a week at the stadium or shop online at longhornslimited.com. The biggest and best selection of Burnt Orange gear, Longhorns Limited.
To Raymond James Stadium with Matt Millen, Bloomer Esiason, John Dockery, and James Lofton. I'm Howard David. You're listening to Super Bowl 35 on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One. Later in the game, we'll tell you about today's Rolaids moment, brought to you by Extra Strength. Rolaids antacids with even more acid-neutralizing power to wipe out heartburn fast. We go down to our colleague, John Dockery. Doc?
Howard, amazing. When Ray Lewis was introduced, he went into a hot dog dance, bent down and grabbed some grass turf, rubbed it on his uniform, then put it back into the ground, and then went into a rocking back and forth dance, something I'm told that he practiced during the week in the locker room. Wow, I don't know what to say. He backs it up, but boy, if he doesn't, it's going to come back to haunt him.
Jason Garrett, who's the backup quarterback for the Giants, gave Kerry Collins some good advice. He said, call Troy Aikman about your Super Bowl experience, and he'll give you some good, good insight. And apparently he did. And, Aikman's been to the dance a few times. I'm sure he can give him the right information.
Well, the thing here, Howard, is that, again, it's going to come down to these quarterbacks that are dealing with the pressure, and both of these defenses can do that to you. It's going to be interesting to see how these offenses try to adjust as this game goes on.
Collins will start at his own 13-yard line. Sends Mitchell, the tight end, in motion. Collins, quick drop, post lunch, gets hit and sacked. Back at the 7-yard line, he is hit by Rob Burnett, who had 10.5 sacks during the regular season, and the game's first sack registered by the Ravens.
They're in an over front, so that means Burnett is going to be on Pettigrew. Pettigrew, we said earlier, is going to have some problems. Now, that was going to be a quick pass. You have to credit the coverage on the outside. He's looking towards Armani Toomer, but Starks was right on top of him. Took the quick away. They were going to try a double move. Burnett was able to make the hit.
Howard Cross, the only Giant remaining from Super Bowl 25, is in the game at tight end for the Giants after a 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15. The pitch to Barber, sweeping right, tries to turn the corner and is put on his back at the 9-yard line. Terrific play, James Trapp.
You can see right here the defense of the Baltimore Ravens are living up to the billing thus far, flying to the football. The Giants realize it's going to be very difficult to run inside, so they try to get Tiki outside. But, Matt, the thing that is most impressive when you watch this defense is the pursuit and how many guys are around the football.
And how well they come off blocks. That was outstanding by Trapp to fight off the block, hold the outside leverage to force it in, and, of course, they make the tackle on top of it, 3rd and long.
This is where Kerry Collins has got to be careful inside his own 10-yard line. Don't force it here.
3rd and 14. Hilliard in motion. Collins back to the goal line. Steps up. Now tries to take off and run with it and slides down at the 15-yard line. Well, he got about half of what he needed. He still needed about 8 more, and they'll have to kick it away.
And this is what I'm talking about. Just be careful. Don't force the football. It's going to be a game of field position. This is where Brad Maynard has got to be careful. Kick it outside the numbers. Do not give Jermaine Lewis the entire field to run with.
Agreed. Now you have the directional kick on the punt game. More important, it looks to me right there that Kerry Collins is starting to speed himself up a little bit. He's got to calm himself back down.
Maynard, an excellent punter, but he's starting in dangerous territory. Lewis stands at the 44, and he kicks it away. It is a short, wobbly kick, and it bounces out of bounds at the 48-yard line of Baltimore. So the Ravens now with an outstanding opportunity. They'll start the drive at their own 49-yard line after a 38-yard punt. There's no score first quarter. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
Hi, Craig Way, and right now our friends at Lee Johnson Ford have a huge selection of over 580 F-Series trucks on sale. Right now, after $1,000 cash back, 2001 automatic Ford F-150 four-door XLT Super Cabs with air conditioning are sale tagged for only $20,799.
Work great, look good, and last a long, long time. They're located on 620, about halfway between 2222 and 183. Magnum Custom Trailers.
Dial 459-2222 and get a Mr. Gatti's Pizza delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for your eating pleasure, Mr. Gatti's is proud to announce the delicious, tantalizing new wonder of the pizza world, the Great Gatty. New from Mr. Gatti's, the Great Gatty will amaze you with its new thin and tasty crust and astounding size. 16 inches of the best pizza in town with your choice of toppings. It's the biggest, best Gatti's pizza yet, with the same Gatti's quality, only more to love. Bigger and better, the Great Gatty. You gotta taste it to believe it. So try one today, only at Mr. Gatti's, the best and biggest pizza in town. Honest.
Real cheese, real hot. Real taste is what we got. Real fresh, real fast. Your first Mr. Gatti's won't be your last. Dial 459-2222. Why don't you jot it down? Mr. Gatti's, the best pizza in town. Honest.
Points won by Boomer. He'd like to see him come out and keep on throwing. And then the second point, maybe more importantly, is the fact that in 2 series, they gained themselves 17 yards of field position in the kicking game.
Sam Gash is in the 2 Pro Bowls with the Buffalo Bills. The deep back, Jamal Lewis. Dilfer changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Lions adjust defensively with a 5-man front. They hit to Lewis into the heart of the line and lost a yard.
See, I don't like this, Matt. I want Brian Billick to let Trent Dilfer throw it on this portion of the field. I mean, you already have the Giants. The momentum is on your side. So throw the football. Don't hand it up and run it in the middle where you can't get any yards. And we talked about it all week long. Everybody said, who is going to be the most significant player that we don't really read that much about? And right now, it's Richardson, the punter for the Ravens, who is out punting Maynard thus far. And that's why the Ravens have had this kind of field position.
Cedric Jones made the play just then for the Giants. A loss of a yard, second down and 11. Twin receivers to the left side. 6-man Giant front. They're coming after Dilfer. Swings it out of the backfield. Incomplete. He threw it too low for Jamal Lewis because Lewis had 15 yards of open field in front of him.
This is one of those things we talked about, missed opportunities, Boom, and here's one. They came with the man look outside. They matched up their linebacker Barrow on tight end Sharp. They picked to the inside. Nobody could pick up on the outside of Jamal Lewis.
There was a blown coverage. This is what Trent Dilfer has been booed for all his career down here in Tampa. A guy running wide open. Everybody in the stadium sees it, and he can't connect on an easy pass.
3 down lineman Pete Montian is another linebacker on 3rd down and 11. Priest Holmes in the game at running back, and we're going to get a flag. Looked like some movement on the Baltimore offensive line.
Looks to me like it was Hamilton who maybe moved a little bit too soon.
Encroachment.
Yeah, you're
75
right.
defense, 5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
10 sacks in 2000 for Keith Hamilton, 4th amongst defensive tackles. Roy Glover of New Orleans led with 17 quarterback sacks.
I thought he had an excellent year, Hamilton.
Hamilton did have a great year. The thing about it is, though, that Trent Dilfer has got to complete the open passes. You know, and this is a manageable 3rd down here. It's 3rd and 5. He's got to complete a pass here. It's man coverage.
At the Giant 46. Dilfer back to pass. Looking long. Airing it out. And has a man. Oh, it's incomplete off the fingertips of Patrick Johnson, who had at least a 5-yard lead on Jason Sehorn.
That's the one thing I don't believe that Dilfer does right. I never believed he threw a very good deep ball. And Johnson beat him clean at the line of scrimmage. Never really got a jam on him. Just ran right by him.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Patrick Johnson just left Jason Sehorn in the dirt. And If Trent can put a little more air under it, it's 6. I mean, it's an easy play. That's two wide open receivers so far that Trent Dilfer has missed. Now let's see what Kyle Richardson does here, the punter for the Ravens, to see if he can put him inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this is the same thing. It's a second missed opportunity.
Giants have just dodged a huge bullet. Richardson with a rocket punt. Barber lets it hit, and it takes a Baltimore bounce and dies at the 2-yard line. A 44-yard punt, as good as you can get for Richardson. Timeout on the field. There's no score. We're brought to you by Office Depot. Time to take care of business at Office Depot. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
How does America get back to business? At Office Depot, you'll find everything your business needs to start the new year. From files to folders, boxes to binders, cabinets to copy paper. Nobody sells more office products to more businesses than Depot. So whether you visit our store, shop online, or order by phone, you'll find guaranteed low prices every day on everything you need to succeed. Office Depot, official sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
Rain, wet, wet, wet rain. You are no longer my slippery foe. I have no need for your fun anymore, cockamamie rain, for I stick to the road regardless of you with an ixnay on the hydroplaning hay.
Right. Well, maybe with Jeep Grand Cherokee's available quadra-drive system, our most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, helping to hold you to the ground on and off-road, wet or dry, you can feel bold enough to tempt the rain. Jeep Grand Cherokee, it kind of evens out the whole man versus nature thing. Jeep is a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler.
Drivers face many distractions in the car. Don't let your wireless phone be one of them. Before using your wireless phone while driving, ask yourself, will this call distract me from my first responsibility to drive safely? Also, use your phone's hands-free option. Remember, state laws prohibit distracted driving. The wireless phone industry reminds you to drive safely. Safety, your most important call. Visit www.driveresponsibly.org.
I'd like to thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Super Bowl 35 on CBS Radio Sports in Westwood One, and a special hello to all of you around the world tuning us in on Armed Forces Radio. Howard David, Matt Millen, Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, and James Lofton. The Giants pinned up at their own goal line at the 1-yard line off of a very good punt by Kyle Richardson. And the Giants now will be faced first and 10 at their own 1. A couple of changes. Keith Washington and Larry Webster into the front 4 for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, here you go in an empty backfield, at least to start, but I would imagine Ron Dane will end up back there. If they try to run the ball up the middle with him, not a lot of room.
Take a shot.
High formation, Dane the deep back.
That's movement by Lomas Brown on the left side.
Oh, and they were going to run Ron Dane right up the middle.
Prior to this now, false start, 76. Half of this is to the goal. It's still first down.
Now we've had 3 of these sorts of penalties so far in this game early on. Is a little early jitters.
Yeah, it is jitters, but when you're down here on this part of the field and you're a quarterback, you should be able to go on long counts down here because the penalties don't matter. Are we going to move an inch? It doesn't really matter. So if you're Kerry Collins, you could really try to hard count him down here, Matt, and try to get him offside.
Great.
The other thing you said before was Kerry Collins just got to calm down, slow down a little bit, get himself back into a rhythm if he can.
5th drive so far between these two teams in 5 minutes. 5 yards of total offense. Collins back in his end zone. Play action. Throws over the middle. It is tipped batted around, and I think it might have been picked off by the Ravens. We'll see. Now they're calling it an incompletion.
They are getting to Collins. Rob Burnett again.
That was close to a sack.
Very close. Very close. And remember, if they would do that and he throws a flag there for intentional grounding, it would be a safety. That wasn't the case, however. But again, Boom, he did force it down inside and took a major chance. Larry Webster had a shot and came away with nothing. Instead, now you have second and long.
That ball actually hit McAllister. Then it caromed off, and it hit Webster in the stomach. And one of the Giants, I couldn't see who it was, actually knocked it out of the hands of Webster, it looked like.
Giants second down from deep in their own territory, about the half-yard line. Collins with a long count, rolls the pocket right, throws it on the run, and connects to Ike Hilliard for a first down at the 13-yard line of the Giants.
That was nicely done by Sean Payton on the call.
They know they're having problems with Pettigrew, the right tackle. Burnett's eating his lunch. He dropped down to the inside, got pressure. He rolled him out to the right side, so they use it against him. And then Collins, as he throws on the run, is able to find Hilliard on about that 13-yard out.
That's a 13-yard completion of the game's first down with 9.5 to go in the first quarter. There's still no score.
And they had to work to get it, too, Matt. And that may be the thing that Kerry Collins needs, a little catalyst to get him going now.
Joe Montgomery in the game at tailback, and he gets the call running right, hurdles over the pile for a few yards to the 18-yard line, where he is hit by Rod Woodson, who's had just a brilliant career. Rod Woodson, by the way, Matt, and I don't like bringing this up, but he had 4 interceptions on Boomer.
You got lucky. Thanks. I appreciate that.
But 3 of them were tip balls.
Yeah, but 3 of them were in games that he lost. So relax, okay?
I'm with you, Pop.
All right.
I'm with you. I said deflections.
Okay, good.
Nice tie, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Gain of about 3, second down and 7 from the Giants' 17. Tiki Barber back in the game and running back. He gets the call, trying to run left and dart back to the right. Not much there. Gets about a yard.
There won't be much there all night long, Howard. I mean, this
they did there, Boom.
I saw what they did there, and
it's just very down to the inside. They took him hard to the inside and then bounced things out. They were going to try to run that little bit of counter, but with McCrary getting pressure inside, it stuffed it.
Everybody talks about the interior linemen, Adams and Saragusa, on this defense, but it's the outside guys. Burnett and McCrary are just as difficult to block, and Pettigrew is finding out just how good Rob Burnett is.
A dime defense now for the Baltimore Ravens. Third down at about 5 from their own 19-yard line for the Giants. Kerry Collins out of his shotgun sends Hilliard in motion. He takes the snap, looks to the right, throws to the right, and batted away in a terrific play by Ray Lewis.
On Joe Jaravicius, who was trying to run a crossing route underneath. He was going to take Jaravicius' speed versus Ray Lewis' speed, and Ray Lewis played it perfect. Top side of his left arm as they're running across, they're going right to left. He keeps that to the top side. The right arm comes in, slaps the ball away. It can't be drawn up better.
Now here you go. This is Maynard again. Now the punter for the Giants. Now it's his turn to see if he can root one out of here to try to give his team a little bit of a breather.
Jermaine Lewis, who led the AFC in punt return average at 16 per return and a high kick.
Right down the middle.
35-yard line. Lewis looking to run right, trying to turn the corner. He does at the 50, to the 40. Lewis to the 35. Flag is down, and Lewis is down at the 23-yard line. A terrific run by Jermaine Lewis. He is tackled by Pete Monty, but this one may be coming back just a touch.
But more importantly, and Boomer said it right when it happened, if you got a directional kick this guy, you can't give him a two-way go.
You know, I don't care if he kicks it out.
45 of the receiving team during the run back. 10 yards, first down.
I don't care if he kicks it out right at the 48-yard line like he did last time. Doesn't matter. Do not kick the ball down the center of the field and allow Jermaine Lewis a two-way go.
Got it.
I got to believe, I'm sorry, guys, I got to believe that Jim Fassel has told him, don't kick it down the middle. I can't believe they said, just let it go. Just because you're having trouble directional kicking.
7.5 to play in the first quarter. Not a 46-yard punt, but a 45-yard return. Of course, brought back a little bit because of the penalty. And the Ravens will have great field position at the Giant 41-yard line.
And that was a good call. With it. Yeah, it was a good call.
Throw the ball here. Throw the football.
Throw the ball.
Let's go. Throw it, Trent. Let's go.
High formation. They run the ball. Lewis running left. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. A pickup of 3. Michael Barrow, who had a terrific year in his 8th season from Miami.
Actually, I'm expecting more of that with Jonathan Ogden on that left side on Cedric Jones. They're going to run the football. I'd expect them to pound that side. Now, you can offset that defensively. You can set your safety to that side, or you can go with an over front or an under front to that side to protect him.
I think you just throw the ball.
Or you can throw it.
Throw it. Go downfield and throw the ball.
Brandon Stokely in the game is a third wide out. Dilfer back to pass. Looking long. Down the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. Brandon Stokely. Touchdown. Touchdown, Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Stokely, who had 11 catches last year, 1 ball last year for 28 yards, just made the biggest grab of his life for 38 yards.
They just run a seam pattern right down the inside of the numbers. And again, this is the second time they're going after Jason Seymour. And a perfectly thrown ball this but Matt, this is what I'm talking about. The Giants are electing to play man coverage, forcing Trent Dilfer to make the plays. Stokely gets right away from Sehorn, right up the numbers, and a beautifully thrown ball.
A point after for Stover out of the hold of Richardson, and the Ravens take the lead 7-0 with 6:50 to go in the first quarter.
They jumped him to the outside, was expecting help to the inside out of the safety as they went left to right. It didn't happen. He beat him with a perfect throw down the middle, good protection, 7-0 Baltimore.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Hey, Bill, this is Vinny Testaverde calling.
Hey, Vinny, how are you?
Heard you're a big Jets fan.
I'm a diehard fan, and my family's a diehard fan, too. We have season tickets with the family, and it's one of our Sunday rituals of being there, and keeps the family strong and keeps everybody together.
Wow, that's great to hear, Bill.
My son's getting married this year, and they're Jet fans, too, so we have it in the family.
Thanks for being an NFL fan.
It's been a great 2000 NFL season, and on behalf of the NFL and all 32 clubs, we would like to thank you for supporting your favorite team this year. See you again next season.
Toshiba Digital Home Media is always there for you. When your team is winning, Toshiba HD TV provides power focus optic technology so you can celebrate in front of the clearest picture imaginable. And when your team is losing by 40 points, Toshiba DVD is there for you with precision filtering when you turn off the game and decide to put on your favorite movie. If only everyone could be as caring as Toshiba, what a wonderful world this would be. Toshiba, HD TV, and DVD. It's that kind of love.
Let's get set.
Wouldn't it be amazing to fly to L.A. and sort of live like a movie star for a few days? You could go to Priceline.com for a steal on airline tickets and then parlay the money you save into a cashmere craze shopping spree, a deep tissue massage, or dinner at a fancy restaurant. And then if somehow you wound up on a late-night talk show and the host said, "You look fantastic. What's your secret?" You'd say, "Oh, discount designer airfare."
Maybe on ice and save. Priceline.com.
2 plays, 41 yards, in just 40 seconds. Dilfer to Stokely for the game's first score. Let's go down to James Lofton. James?
Well, you're not really going down to me because you can wander around the stadium. You can walk into luxury boxes if you have the right pass. Believe it or not, I'm in a box with Coach Don Shula and Joe Namath, 2 combatants from Super Bowl III. Joe Namath first. We all know about the guarantee. You guys won, all that. But your assessment of the quarterback's play on this field in the first quarter so far?
Well, you know, James, as a quarterback, you're a receiver. We know we got to have the help up front to get the job done. Right now, that Giant line is not giving Collins certainly the time, and Dilfer and this offensive game plan that they have going is terrific. He missed Stokely once for that long touchdown. He could have had over Sehorn and then hit him the second time. Right now, Baltimore is doing everything it seems like they want to do and certainly winning the battle field position.
Yeah, field position exactly right. Matt Stover just kicked off to Rod Dixon. Great coverage by the Ravens again. Ball inside the 15-yard line. This has to be a coach's dream or a coach's nightmare, Don Shula. If you are the coach on the Giants sideline, what do you do now?
It's a nightmare. You know, they were backed up on their own 1-yard line before, and then they got a penalty on first down back to the half-yard line. They came out with a first down and got them a little better field position, but the Ravens are just controlling the field position. And then they had the big play with Dilfer throwing the bomb.
Well, I remember a couple of Miami Dolphin defenses like this. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, James. Collins throws on time to Camello, who gets hit after a couple of yards. Boy, Boomer and I spent some time with the great Don Shula on Friday. We could have spoken with him for 10, 11, 12 hours.
Instead, we had to talk to 10, 11, 12 radio stations that day, thanks to Howie Deneroff, our producer. But, you know, the thing...
You sound bitter about that.
A little bit. But when I listen to Joe Namath, he talks about the offensive line. And right now, the offensive line of the Giants, he's exactly right, is getting beaten to the point. Right now, by this defensive line of the Ravens, Matt.
2nd down and 8 for the Giants on their own 16, and the Ravens' confidence is taking another pop upstairs as Barber tries to sweep left. Not much.
Beautiful.
Ray Lewis cuts him down at the 18-yard line, where we had a very confident group in this Raven team all week long, and certainly what has happened so far has not stopped their confidence.
What they're trying to do, though, Howard, down here is they can't run inside. So now they're trying to get to the edge, and they're doing it by trying to take the outside blocks and get angles on them. But the pursuit of this defense and a good job of Ray Lewis, they don't let anybody get to him. He just ran from the inside out, but credit McAllister for holding the edge and allowing Ray Lewis to be able to make that play.
First time the Giants have trailed in postseason in this 3rd game for them. Mitchell, the tight end, in motion. Collins rolling right. Trying to take off and run with it, and slides at the 20-yard line. So the Giants go 3 and out.
Well, you know what they were trying to do there? They're trying to do a little shovel pass to Tiki Barber underneath Burnett, but this time Burnett stays tight to the line of scrimmage, and Kerry Collins has no choice but to try to run around the end.
Right, and he's speeding himself up, and he's got to slow himself down.
Well, the defense is certainly just absolutely in the face of every Giant player as soon as they touch the ball. And that last play when Tiki Barber tried to get outside, that is the beauty of Ray Lewis at middle linebacker. He has the speed to get outside and make that tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Third 3 and out and 4 possessions for the Giants. Nothing new for Baltimore. They have forced 3 and outs 45% of the time this year. A short kick, relatively speaking, by Maynard. Lewis fields it, then muffs it. And I think the Ravens, that's loose again. I think the Ravens, though, have recovered it, but inside their own 30-yard line.
And look where it is. It's right on the sideline. That time, a great punt by Brad Maynard. He cut the field all the way down to the sideline, and the Giants were right there, Matt. This way you give the punt returner only one way to go with the football. And if the Giants are getting down the field the way they did on that time, this is exactly what could happen. They could force turnovers.
7-0 Baltimore. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream.
In today's net economy, companies are struggling to change, struggling with the complexities of e-business, with making intranets, extranets, and the internet work together across any platform, simply and securely. Well, now they can. With Net Services software from Novell, they can all work together as one net. Novell, the power to change.
What a play! Well, if you like that, you'll love this play from Planters.
Bring it on.
Planters is giving away an all-expense-paid trip for 10 to next year's big game.
Get out.
Get in. The winner will take 9 friends to New Orleans for the weekend. Go to the game, join players at a tailgate, and more.
That's nuts.
Nope, it's Planters.
Get the nuts together for the big game. Look under the labels of specially marked Planters nuts for your chance to win instantly.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Call 1-877-346-3677 for official rules. Must be legal U.S. resident, 18 years or older. Game ends 4/30/01. Odds of winning are about 1 in 5 million.
Big Blue has discovered the magic of playing in New Jersey. Shouldn't you? Stroll along white sand beaches. Feel like a pro on plush green fairways. Explore the path of the American Revolution by day, or catch the excitement of Atlantic City by night. Just make sure to leave time for some world-class shopping and 5-star dining. New Jersey, it's your ticket to the perfect vacation. For your free travel guide, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ, extension 1944. That's 1-800-VISIT-NJ. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports' exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One. Howard David, Matt Millen, Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, and James Lofton. The Ravens with their worst starting field position at their own 28-yard line. 48-yard punt by Maynard before the muff by Jermaine Lewis. The Ravens start out at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10 with a 7-0 lead. And we're going to get a false start against Baltimore. Now, to me, I never quite figured that out. How could you get a false start on the first play of the drive?
False start, 64 offense, 5 yards. It's still first down.
Well, that's a good question, Howard. I often wondered that myself many times. Usually the quarterback goes in there and says, okay, guys, it's on 1, just to get things rolling. But in this kind of game, the one thing we do know is that these guys are so jacked up that there's going to be penalties, and especially penalties like this, especially early in the game.
Yeah, but it should be over by now. At the 4-minute mark, your gut should be settled down.
Ravens have had 3 penalties for 20 yards. They go out of the eye, and they try to hand it off on a straight dive to Jamal Lewis. He doesn't get much, maybe a yard. Michael Barrow meets him head on.
Boy, that's a nice job of Jesse Armstead and Michael Barrow. They try a simple isolation as they're going left to right. They tried to hit it just right inside. Barrow and Armstead hit it beautifully. Right inside. Love that.
Just loving those guys lead with their head, don't you?
Oh, yeah, you got to. That's what this game's all about.
Giants have allowed just 2 runs longer than 20 yards all year long. Jamal Lewis in the postseason is only averaging 3 yards per carry.
You got a mismatch out here with Sam Garnes on the slot receiver.
Dilfer on the handoff, straight ahead. Lewis, not much, maybe another yard. Michael Strahan is there to meet us.
You know, I would have thought that Brian Billick saw Trent Dilfer throwing that ball for the touchdown to Stokely over Sehorn, that he would give him an opportunity to come out here and now throw during this series. Now, it's 3rd and 11. This is not what you want to be against a defense like the Giants. And, you know, conservative is one thing. I guess maybe he feels like he has enough points on the board, Matt.
He might. And, you know, he does have time on his side. You only have 3.5 more quarters.
Hey, he's still pitching a shutout. Cornelius Griffin, the rookie defensive end from Alabama, is in the game for the Giants. Dilfer back to throw on 3rd and 11. A lot of time. Throws it out to the left. Low ball, incomplete. Looking for Stokely. And the Ravens go 3 and out.
Well, that's the Trent Dilfer that everybody's been booing for the last few years. But he had Shannon Sharp wide open about 8 yards underneath Stokely. He just throws it to Shannon Sharp.
You are funny.
What are you talking
because
about?
I've seen the same thing.
The guy is wide open.
And you're thinking to yourself, you know what? God, just calm down, see the guy throw the ball.
It looks easy from up here. I know that. And
he had a lot of time.
He did have a lot of time. Very good block.
How about Ike Hilliard now going to return the punt? Richardson, who's punted extremely well thus far in this first quarter. Good snap from center. And Richardson lays the wood to the leather and drives it deep upfield. Hilliard at the 20. Nice move on the first tackler. He's to the 35 and finally forced out of bounds at the 39-yard line of the Giants. Boy, that was a heck of a move by Ike Hilliard. A 16-yard return of a 53-yard kick.
And finally, some breathing room for the Giant offense.
First time in Super Bowl history, you, the fans, can cast a deciding vote for tonight's MVP. Log on to SuperBowl.com and vote. Powered by CBSSportsline.com. SuperBowl.com is the official site of Super Bowl 35. Ron Dane comes in for the Giants and 2 tight ends, Dan Campbell and Howard Cross, as the Giants start the drive at their own 39, moving from right to left on your radio. 7-0 Baltimore, first quarter. Cross in motion. Collins, play action, looking middle, throwing deep down the middle of the ballpark, and incomplete. He had Hilliard. He had him on a post and just let him too long.
He let it go, and just as he was letting it go, he got hit right around the legs. But I'll tell you, when he let it go, I thought it was going to be a touchdown, Matt. For some reason, Ike Hilliard didn't lay out for this ball, and I don't know why. He makes an outside move and then comes back inside, and it's running straight down the middle of the field.
Ran right by Kim Herring, who was playing center field. He got to the inside of Starks. Herring got up too tight, but McCrary hit him, like you said, on the feet as he was getting ready to throw.
I like the call, though, on first down.
Herring has not played in the postseason. He's missed a couple of games with a sore ankle. Collins pumping left, throws right, the screen to Barber, tries to cut back and falls down.
Oh, great play, though, by Ray Lewis. Fought off 2 blockers in the open field, and yes, he did slip, but Lewis was right there on top of it to set up this 3rd down.
So it'll be 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Ravens with a 7-0 lead on the touchdown pass of Brandon Stokely.
And I think if Tiki Barber doesn't slip down, maybe he's able to get away, because you're right, Ray Lewis did fight off 2 offensive linemen right in his face. And it was a nice play splitting those guys, but I think because Tiki slipped, he was able to make the play.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Ravens looking to put pressure on Kerry Collins out of the shotgun. Blitz is on. Collins steps up, airs it out deep down the right, and overthrows his receiver, Omani Toomer, by a mile.
It was a zone blitz, Boom.
It was a zone blitz. This time Ray Lewis gets back there to Kerry Collins and hits him as he throws the football. But you know what? I think we're seeing what Jim Fassel has decided to do offensively. We're going to throw the ball down the field, and sooner or later we're going to hit one of these. He just has to hope that Brian Billick plays offense like he did the last series. Run, and then try to pass.
Put the ball in the hands of his quarterback?
On 3rd down. Put it in his hands on 1st down. It's a little bit different, opportunities for you.
Giants have gone 3 and out, 4 out of their 5 drives. Maynard with a very short punt. Fair catch called for by Lewis. They let it hit, and it dies at about the 23-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. Let's go down to John Dockery. Doc?
You know, Howard, you've been talking about the field position. Obviously, the Ravens in a plus field position yardage. It's no different from the 3 games they had, playoff games. Their average start during those 3 playoff games, the 40-yard line. The opponents, the 26-yard line. Now, that 14-yard difference supports Billick's formula for success. Great defense, outstanding special teams, field position, and opportunistic offense.
He's missed 3 opportunities so far.
High formation behind Dilfer from his own 23. He's going to pass on first down. Steps up to throw. Here's it out. Got him in. The defensive back fell down. And Dilfer threw the ball out of bounds. The pass intended for Patrick Johnson died a miserable death out of bounds.
2 things here. Number 1, I have no idea what Jason Sehorn is thinking about tonight.
Well, he's not.
This is 3 times he's been beat, and I mean beat seriously. Johnson runs past him again. It's a little stop and go. Jason slips, tries to get up, tries to trip him, misses it. This guy is running wide open, Matt, and Trent Dilfer throws it out of bounds, and this is why Trent Dilfer has heard the boos through his career.
Opportunity number 4.
Dilfer 2 for 8 for 42 yards. One of those passes was for 38 and a touchdown. Handoff to Lewis running left across the 25 and gang tackled by Big Blue at the 26-yard line by Sean Williams, who leads the charge.
If I were Dilfer right, if I was Brian Billick, I would go after Jason Sehorn right now because his confidence, I mean, just the way he's carrying himself, he's doubting himself right now, and I'd go right after him.
Patrick Johnson has ran past him twice now. Stokely ran past him on the inside. I would think that this is where your best... I don't know what's going on with Jason Sehorn.
Well, he's matched up man outside with no help from the safety.
And you talked about they wanted to go after Dave Thomas, which would seem to be the plan. They're going right after Jason Sehorn. Blitz on. Dilfer throws out to the left, and the low ball again. Incomplete. As he was looking again for Patrick Johnson. How many low balls has Dilfer thrown? And Dilfer wobbling as he goes back to the Baltimore sideline.
He's wobbling because he wants everybody to know that he was hit by Michael Strahan as he released the football. You know what? And I mean, it wasn't that bad of a hit at all. He came in the back. Well, you know what? It's not that bad. But I will tell you this, that guy was wide open again. Again was he wide open and Jason Sehorn fell down again.
That's all right, buddy. I know you could make that throw in your sleep.
Please wake up. Richardson with another good punt. Hilliard camps under it at the 28-yard line, running right. Across the 35 to the 40, and spilled at about the 41-yard line by the Ravens. Jamie Sharper, a 44-yard kick, but a 13-yard return, and the Giants have good field position. With 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, they trail 7-0.
It should be 21-0. Trent Dilfer should have 250 yards passing, and the game should be over.
Well, and not in that order.
And, and thank God for the Giants that it's not happening. It's not happening. Well, 1 out of 8 or 1 out of 9 passes.
Well, we go back to this saying. We said at the start it's going to come down to missed opportunities. Those are counted as mistakes, and there are 4 missed opportunities here today by Dilfer.
I want to see the Giants continue to do what they've been trying to do, and that's throw the ball down the field.
4-man front for Baltimore. They're going to run with Barber straight ahead, trying to test the heart of that Baltimore line, and they get nowhere. We're coming down to the end of the first quarter, but only once over the last 12 Super Bowls has the team that trailed after the first quarter gone on to win the game. That was Super Bowl 31. Packers beat the Patriots.
You know you're not getting any yards on first down. Just throw it. Doesn't matter. Just throw it.
I got you covered. 7-0 Ravens. After 1, you're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Hey, football fans, do you watch the most exciting games on the edge of your seat? Do you get so fired up that those hot wings, nachos, and poppers give you heartburn? Well, now you can enjoy the most exciting games heartburn-free. Introducing new Pepsid Complete, a whole new way to treat your heartburn. Pepsid Complete is so fast, it starts to neutralize acid in seconds, and it lasts so long. Nothing's faster than Pepsid Complete. Not even Tums. Nothing lasts longer, not even Zantac 75. Look for new Pepsid Complete in the bright blue box or in the bottle with the big red cap.
New extra-strength Rolaids profiles superfan Tom Dolan.
Baseball, it's about pacing yourself. Amateurs, after the first inning, they give out. Me, I work up to it. First inning hot dogs, second inning cheese fries, third chili dogs. By the 7th inning stretch, it's new Rolaids. Extra strength.
New extra-strength Rolaids with even more acid-neutralizing power to wipe out heartburn fast. New extra-strength Rolaids starts working in less than 10 seconds. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relief. Use as directed.
8th inning bratwurst.
How does the Rubbermaid storage shed compare to an untreated wooden shed? Well, this is a baseball bat striking the Rubbermaid shed. A bat striking the wood shed. Termites tasting the Rubbermaid shed. Termites tasting the woodshed. Your teenage son backing into the Rubbermaid shed. Backing into the woodshed. Remember, if it doesn't say Rubbermaid, it's not worth it.
Rocks, you are but boulders, only smaller. Rocks, you break scissors and are covered by paper, and I will drive over you and embarrass you in front of your own. Oh, sweet retribution.
Okay, maybe Jeep Grand Cherokee owners look at rocks a little differently. With its available quadra-drive system, Jeep's most advanced four-wheel drive system ever, it's easy to see how even rocks become insignificant. Grand Cherokee, it kind of evens out the whole man versus nature thing. Jeep is a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler.
In 2 playoff games, the Giants have dominated their opponents and torn them apart. Most notably, of course, the NFC Championship game against Philadelphia, where they won 41-0. Well, they're 41 points behind that total right now. It's 7-0 Baltimore as we start the second quarter. Collins out of his shotgun, 2nd and 9. Throws over the middle, behind the receiver, Ike Hilliard, who just got tattooed by Jamie Sharper across the middle.
I don't know what these quarterbacks on these two teams have around their eyes, but it certainly isn't eyeglasses, because I don't know what they're looking at. I mean, he almost got Ike Hilliard killed running across the middle.
And it would have been his fault, Boom.
The ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage by Siragusa. You know, I understand. A lot of pressure. I've been in this situation myself. Didn't have the greatest game in my life, but there are guys that are open. I mean, I think these receivers are probably going to be looking at themselves going, what do we have to do?
Just got to slow themselves down. Kerry Collins got to slow himself down.
They're down at 9 and the all-out blitz is coming. They pick it up as Collins throws. Incomplete. Intended for Ike Hilliard, who seemingly had the defense beaten, but the ball not on target. And again, the Giants go 3 and out.
Well, the amazing thing is that Ike Hilliard actually was in on that play, because he almost got decapitated on the play before, but just another seam pattern right up the middle. That's exactly the touchdown pass that he caught against the Minnesota Vikings. That same thing. But this time, there's an actual real free safety on the field, and his name's Rod Woodson.
And Robert Bailey, who's been around this league for a while, had his coverage from the outside and didn't allow that ball.
10th punt of the game. Maynard gets this one away. This is a good kick. Fair catch called for by Lewis, who hauls it in at the 14-yard line. Most punts in a Super Bowl, 15. We've already had 10 on this one. That's a 45-yard kick.
And we have 14 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the second quarter.
We got some great offense going down here, boys.
There's going to be 30 punts today before it's all over, said and done.
Going to have to matriculate down the field. It's 7-0 Baltimore. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
What if you invited all your friends over to
a message from the National Stuttering Association. If you stutter or if your child does, NSA wants you to know you're not alone. The NSA has terrific resources, support groups, workshops, everything to help you deal with stuttering in a positive, sharing way. Give them a call at 1-800-364-1677 or online at nsastutter.org. Remember, stuttering isn't a sin. You're alone, isolated because of it.
First rate Super Bowl party with Wings Zone. And be glad you're able to enjoy tasty mouth-watering wings.
I can't keep up with you.
Jumbo wings.
Vitality and beauty has nothing to do with age. Just make sure you have the full support of your bones by preventing and treating osteoporosis. Ask your doctor if you're at risk, or call the National Osteoporosis Foundation at 1-800-223-9994. We have a vital interest in your bones.
Not bad, honey. You're getting the hang of it. Mom, you're amazing.
Bird's the word. It's been a great 2000 NFL season, and on behalf of the NFL and all 32 clubs, we'd like to thank you for supporting your favorite team this year. And, of course, we'll see you again next season. Let's go down to James Lofton. James?
Well, Boomer and Matt, I know we've seen some shaky play by the quarterback so far, but I've also on the sideline seen both head coaches trying to calm their guys down when they come off the field. And I really believe it's going to be the first quarterback who's able to, I guess, hold his lunch down a little better and find some of these guys who are open in the secondary. That's the guy who's really going to be successful. But I think the defenses have done a good job with that extra week off and mixing the coverages up a little bit, because I've seen quarterbacks, they stick their eyes to one side and they get blinded by what's around them. So they're really not seeing the open guys. Trent Dilfer obviously has missed some open receivers, but Kerry Collins, he's throwing off his back foot, throwing from the back pedal. Neither guy feels comfortable in the pocket or in this ball game.
So far, a total of 82 yards in this game. 54 by Baltimore, 38 on one play. Two tight ends, Coates and Shark for Baltimore. The handoff to Lewis, trying to run left across the 15-yard line and gang tackle to the 16, led by Ryan Phillips. Well, you're talking about these two quarterbacks. They were both first-round picks, but both failed with the teams that drafted them.
And there's no question that they've resurrected themselves, and they've done it great, and everything's fine that they're here. And we talked about this, Matt, all week long. The one quarterback with the ironclad stomach, the guy that's going to be able to handle his failures and his team's failures as this game goes on, the best, just like James said, will be able to weather that storm and then come back and hopefully lead his team to victory. But at this point, I can't even tell you which one it's going to be.
Second down and 9, and Dilfer wants to throw. Out to the left, throws and connects. Short pickup to the tight end, Ben Coates, the former New England Patriot, who makes the catch at the 19-yard line after a pickup of 3.
So now let's go to the other side of the football, and it's just like we thought, Boomer, that both these defenses are playing very, very well. And the one thing I've got to say is Trent Dilfer has had some time. He's had time and opportunity where Kerry Collins has not had the time, and he has been rushing himself. They did do a good job earlier of getting him on the edge to try to buy a little bit of time, but right now I think the advantage goes to Dilfer in terms of having the opportunity to throw.
Stokely in the game as a wideout. He's hurt the Giants already. Back to pass, Dilfer throws it out to the left. The catch is made and squirming for a first down after the catch. It is complete to Patrick Johnson.
Again, time to throw, Boom. They protected him pretty well. He's able to find you underneath, make the throw.
And he threw it nicely. He threw it decisively. It didn't look like he let it go and was wondering where it was going to come down. It was a nice throw by Tento for that time. But, again, we were talking about the defenses. Everybody has pretty much shown up for the Giants with the exception of Jason Sehorn. I mean, he blew 3 coverages.
Yes, he did.
And lucky.
7-0 Baltimore
right there. Go ahead.
7-0 Baltimore in the second quarter with 2.5 gone by. The handoff, Jamal Lewis straight ahead, and he is hit immediately by Jack Golden.
All the running backs are going to be hit immediately today. That's just the way it's going to be. And if you love defense and you love the way that teams rally to the football and you like physical football, which I think, Matt, you probably prefer, this is a thing of beauty to you guys who are defensive purists.
And the other part of it, you have to remember, in every defensive scheme, there's going to be a weakness in the scheme, and time will give your quarterback the opportunity to find it.
Second down and 7 for the Ravens. They lead 7-0. They're at their own 29. Dilfer rolling right. A rarity for him. Running out of room and just throws it away as he was being chased to the sideline.
Well, again, they rolled to try to buy some time, but he got pressure from the inside out. It was only a 2-receiver out. One down the sideline and another one back to the inside, well covered. He had nowhere to go with it and had to just throw it away.
And Jesse Armstead just absolutely levels Trent Dilfer on the sideline. They also take out an official who almost blows his knee out.
Dilfer said earlier this week, my legacy is I want to be the quarterback of the team that wins the Super Bowl in spite of its quarterback.
And that's not the way to go into a game, do you think?
Those aren't very high aspirations, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, believe me, no matter how bad I was, I wouldn't be saying that. I'd be saying, I'm going to win the game for the team somehow. But that's just me, right, guys?
You're a very low-key guy, though. Dilfer with a deep drop, in trouble, and gets sacked back at the 20. First sack of Dilfer, and it's recorded by who else? Michael Strahan, who's had an outstanding postseason.
But it really should go to Michael Barrow, because Barrow came around the edge. Strahan came to the inside. He forced him to step up to the pocket, and because Barrow missed him, Strahan can get the sack.
You got to love what Strahan does. He jumps into Harry Swain. He grabs him and doesn't allow Swain to come off because he knows that Barrow's coming around, and that's good team defense, Matt. Pick tough. That's what it's called.
Richardson with a kick, a wobbly kick. It hits at the 45 of the Giants and dies at the 40-yard line. So the Giants will get terrific field position after just a 39-yard kick. But Baltimore has a 7-0 lead with 11:22 to go in the half. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
We're taking your calls at 1-800-CONSTIPATION.
I feel like I've had too many helpings of my sister-in-law's stuffed potato dumplings.
I feel like a hippopotamus in a zoo.
Then They're describing how bloating constipation makes them feel. And if you sometimes feel the same when you're constipated, FiberCon is for you. FiberCon's natural action of fiber relieves bloating constipation, and FiberCon caplets are more convenient than fiber powders you have to mix.
FiberCon made me feel like myself again.
Be regular. Be yourself. It's easy with FiberCon. Use only as directed.
Hi, this is Craig Way. To tell you once more that Sprint PCS offers great deals on Sprint PCS digital phones. They ought to. Sprint PCS offers the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network that they themselves built from the ground up, serving more than 300 major metropolitan areas. I should know I've used my Sprint PCS phone in nearly all of those major metropolitan areas. You can really tell the difference. Take it from me and try Sprint PCS. It is, after all, the clear alternative to cellular.
Swing, and it's done it again. Woo! 70 home runs.
I traded off every hit, every home run, every record to know that every child is safe.
A new home run champion, Mark McGwire.
Please help Yahoo support the Mark McGwire Foundation for Children, dedicated to preventing child abuse. Go to yahoo.com and search McGwire.
Keep track of the big game with in-game stats and scoring from SuperBowl.com. Every stat, every angle exclusively at SuperBowl.com, the official site of Super Bowl 35, powered by CBS Sportsline.com. Well, the Baltimore defense has allowed only 165 points this year, breaking the record of 187 by the 86 Bears. Also, Tennessee yielded just 191 points, third fewest all time. As a matter of fact, whoever wins this game will have given up the fewest points of any Super Bowl winner in history.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is we only had a 39-yard punt by Richardson, and that's probably because he's tired.
That's part of the game plan. Wear the punter out.
Wear him down, baby.
11 punts in this game already. 7-0 Baltimore. Collins rolling right. Being chased from behind is a flag down, and Collins runs out of room as he was being chased by Sam Adams from the backside.
Yep.
We're going to get holding against Baltimore, I think, in the secondary.
Yeah, well, it's on the linebacker back underneath. It's Cornell Brown who got his hands on Ike Hilliard underneath. You can get a jam at 5 yards. You just can't get a grab at 5 yards. They were going to roll that back out. I like the adjustment here, Boom. They're not handling the inside rush, so they're rolling them out to the outside.
Flag is against Baltimore. Defensive holding, automatic first down for the Giants. We have 11:15 to play in the half, and the Ravens have a 7-0 lead.
And I agree with you, Matt. First down, throw the football. They're not having any success whatsoever running it up in the middle. And I have to believe, by watching the way the offense has tried to do it for the Giants, they think that they're going to put it in Kerry Collins' hands and let him throw the football.
They have kind of consciously stayed away from Amani Toomer, the Giants, for whatever the reason. Their wide receiver, their big receiver, Collins back, looks right, in trouble, gets away, and just throws it away. There's a flag down. We may get another holding call against Baltimore's secondary.
That's exactly what you're going to get, and it's down against... Is it against Starks, right?
Yeah, that was a smart play by Collins. He kind of saw what was going on. He just threw it.
And you take a shot. If you have time to see that and see it happening downfield developing for you, why not give it a shot?
Well, the thing is, he wasn't really getting much time. He had to avoid a rush and just took a step. And actually, he just threw it. He didn't see what the heck was going on. Sam Adams beat the guard like a drum.
Oh, you can see exactly what Starks just runs right into Ike Hilliard as he's trying to get down the field. And many of us think this is the best way to go after the Ravens. Just keep throwing it downfield. Maybe it's a big play by your receiver. Maybe it's a great throw by your quarterback. It also can be an interference or a penalty downfield against one of these defensive backs of the Ravens.
2 bumps in a row. They picked up 10 yards. They still have first down.
Yep. And they haven't done anything offensively.
At the 50-yard line, that's 5 penalties. First time for the Giants to the 50-yard line. Hilliard in motion. The pitch wide to Barber. The reverse to Hilliard. The pitch back to Collins. Looking deep. Throws deep down the right. A jump ball. They jump up for it. It is incomplete. And even if it were complete, it would have been out of bounds.
Nicely done by Michael McCrary. Good discipline of the defense. They tried to go a double reverse and then throw it back to Collins. McCrary stayed as deep as the deepest, and because he was there, he forced Collins to throw the ball a little sooner than he had to. Giants are going left to right. Like they said, they came one way and then back the other way, but nicely done by McCrary.
You know, they're trying to do anything, and Jim Fassel is trying to get anything done that can relieve some of the pressure down the field, and the secondary is not biting into any of it.
2nd and 10 for the Giants at the 50-yard line. 7-0 Baltimore. Collins back to throw. Throws out to the right, and is tipped and intercepted. Off the deflection by Jamie Sharper. It was Ray Lewis who deflected it, and Sharper comes up with the game's first turnover.
And that is just well done. Now, here's the secret of what's going on right now. As Sharper gets his pick, see, they don't have to commit anybody to the run game. They don't even need 7 boom. They can go ahead with 6 and handle what's happening up front, and that means you have more people in the secondary, and all it was, he's going to try to hit a slant to the inside, but Ray Lewis got his hand up, knocked the thing in the air, and then Sharper came down with it.
You know, but Matt, you talked about Kerry Collins. He's got to slow himself down. If he just hangs on for a touch, he has his tight end, Dan Campbell, wide open in between, right in between the middle of the field, and he doesn't do it.
All together now.
Timey kangaroo down.
Thought Dilfer trying to set up the screen, and it's picked off. There's a flag down. But going for a touchdown is Jesse Armstead if it stands up.
Hold on, what's going to happen? They tackled the receiver, Jamal Lewis,
in the backfield.
And it was Michael Barrow who tackled him, and I'm not so sure that's not going to come back for interference on the receiver.
Well, looking at Strahan's reaction and reading his body language, this one's going to come back.
Yeah.
The Giants had a touchdown, and now they're going to have to give it back. You know, the microphone of Jerry Austin is not working. Oh, now we get it.
75 defense.
Keith Hamilton.
Automatic first down.
The thing here, guys, is it's a play that it's infrequently called.
Yeah.
And this is the defense's best way to screw up the screen is to grab the running back and throw it to him, throw him to the ground. The thing that really is just unbelievably bad is that Trent Dilfer just arbitrarily just throws the ball out there like for no reason. And if you're Brian Billick, I think you just turn around and hand it to Jamal Lewis the rest of the game until you have to throw it now.
Do you detect a little frustration on number 7's part over here?
No.
There's a handoff to Lewis trying to run left, breaks a tackle inside the 40, and drives over Garnes for a first down.
Well, Boom, he must have been listening to you. He said, forget it. This stiff can't do anything. Hand it off to the other guy.
It's just, Matt, you're watching this up here. I mean, it's just amazing to watch how guys are wide open, and he's not hitting them. And then when he does finally hit somebody, he hits a guy in the blue right in the chest.
But it was well thrown, and he did run a good route, you have to admit. Jesse Armstead looked perfect route.
Yes, 9 minutes to go in the first half, 7-0 Baltimore. They're trying to add more to it. That was the longest run of the game, 11 yards. Johnson in motion. The handoff to Lewis running left, and he gets dropped in his tracks after a gain of a yard by Keith Hamilton.
You know what goes into a game plan like this? A coach is on the sideline, and he's watching his quarterback, and he's watching how he's playing, how he's executing just the simple plays. And neither one of these quarterbacks is executing those plays on a consistent basis today. Much like Kerry Collins did 2 weeks ago against the Vikings, Sean Payton saw that he was on, so he kept giving him opportunities. I think Brian Billick is really going to hold the 10 here and be extremely conservative on offense.
2nd and 10. They call it no gain on the play. 4-man Giant front. Dilfer back to throw. Sprints out of the pocket, then runs into his own man. He gets dropped for a loss by Strahan at the 42 and Cornelius Griffin.
My God, he's coverage also down the field. And Boomer,
looking at one guy, Matt.
Right now, I think
there's 3 guys out there.
If you ask Brian Billick about his quarterback's execution, I think he'd be all for it.
Look, exactly right. But
you're in the right town to say that too.
That's exactly why I said it.
I mean, it's painful because quarterbacks have to go through their progression. You can't just sit there and look at one guy. If he's not open, go to number 2. If number 2's not open, go to number 3. It's not that hard.
3rd down with 13.
Defense, however.
3rd and 13 for Baltimore. Priest holds in the game at running back as Dilfer with a deep drop. Throws as he's hit, and the ball is dropped by Shannon Sharp, who started a run before he caught it. And so the Giants dodge a little bit of a bullet, and the punting unit will come on as Hamilton had pressure on Dilfer.
Nice job by the Giant defense in the zone, but more importantly, they're getting pressure on Dilfer with only 4 people, and that's important. And if you look real close, you can see that Shannon Sharp was talking to the ball and it was coming to him.
There's some trash talking going on. Yes, he probably did.
Well, the ball could have fit in his mouth, by the way. He's been talking all week.
Well,
I shouldn't be frustrated because I talked about this all week, that each one of these quarterbacks are going to have failures during the game. It's just that I couldn't believe that they're having the type of failures that they're having.
Richardson to punt to Tiki Barber and sends this one airborne. Barber at the 15. Fair catches it there. A 26-yard punt, but there is a flag down. And it's against the Giants. Well, we have a 7-0 Baltimore lead.
Number 25 during the kick. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
Well, the penalty is on the Giants. And so instead of the 15-yard line, it'll be about the 7.5. It's Ramos McDonald that's called for the flag. 7-0 Baltimore with 8:24 to go, first half. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
But never leave the stream. In today's net economy, companies are struggling to change. Struggling with the complexities of e-business, with making intranets, extranets, and the internet work together across any platform, simply and securely. Well, now they can. With Net Services software from Novell, they can all work together as one net. Novell, the power to change.
When it virtually invented the category 17 years ago, Dodge Grand Caravan was the best minivan ever because it was a wonderful idea and pretty much the only minivan around. Today, the 2001 Grand Caravan is even more innovative, and even with dozens of imitators at its heels, it's still the best minivan ever. Based on AMCI overall weighted evaluations of 2001 Grand Caravan versus similarly equipped 2000 model year competitors. Call 800-4A-DODGE for details.
Hi, Boomer Esiason here, and in 1993, after my wife and I learned that our son Gunnar had cystic fibrosis, we started the Boomer Esiason Foundation to fund research, increase awareness, and make life a little easier for those people suffering with CF. Now, we've teamed up with 1-800-Flowers.com so that you can help too. From now until January 31st, when you order from 1-800-Flowers.com, 10% of the net proceeds will go to the benefit of the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Just use code CEF when ordering. It's a great way to get a head start on your Valentine's Day shopping. So call now or visit 1-800-Flowers.com and help make a difference in the fight against cystic fibrosis.
A reminder that for every touchdown scored inside the red zone tonight, Dodge will donate $500 to the March of Dimes Foundation. Think Dodge different. My suggestion is that we ought to have for every 5 yards moved tonight.
Holy smokes. How about every punt? How about $500 a punt? 12 punts? I bet you Dodge would do that.
Giants start again deep in their own territory at the 8.
They might not be able to afford that, though.
And Collins to throw on first down, throws out to the right and makes the connection to about the 14-yard line to Amani Toomer, who against Minnesota had 6 receptions for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. He and Hilliard just tore up the Minnesota secondary, but this is a far different football team they're playing today.
All right, this looks good. This is a nice, easy out pattern. It's a throw that you throw about 100 times in practice every day. You get back to the basics. They caught Baltimore blitzing. They max protect. Collins steps back, delivers it on time, and a nicely thrown ball with a nicely executed route.
Gain of about 5. Collins under center, takes the snap, looks to the left, now to the middle, throws over the middle, and the catch is made by Amani Toomer across the 30-yard line. Wayne Starks makes the tackle. That's a great job by Toomer. The ball thrown a little bit behind, and enough for a Giant first down, 19 yards on the play.
Had him in his zone, and they knew they had his zone. They motioned out to the left side. Linebacker walked, so you knew you were going to be okay to that side. So it's just a matter of protection, and they're doing a good job because Sam Adams is really getting a good push inside on this line. Another nice throw by Kerry Collins, though. Both on first down. Let's see if they continue it.
Joe Montgomery in the game at running back. He gets the call trying to run straight ahead and gets spilled for virtually no gain by Boulware and Lewis.
I guess you feel like you have to try to run it. Maybe a miracle will happen and nobody will be there when he gets to the line of scrimmage, but that's not going to be the case.
Matt, yes, there's a dripping sarcasm here.
No, not from our crew. But I would say, Sean, no being facetious. Sean, no, right. Ron Brady's got to see this and start throwing the football. Keep it going. He's got a little juice going right now. Slow himself down a little bit because Rob Burnett is playing very well, as is Sam Adams on that left side.
7 minutes left in the half. 7-0 Baltimore. Giants 2nd and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Big push up the middle. Collins throws and connects to his tight end. Howard Cross, the only remaining Giant from Super Bowl 25.
I like going to your tight end. Once you start getting your tight end involved, starts holding those backers and that safety. Now, Howard Cross isn't going to beat you, but he can give you 5 yards like this and create this 3rd and short.
Gain of 8 on the play.
3rd down's the quarterback's down, and one of the reasons I don't like to run on 1st down is because, you know what? You're not getting anywhere. It's almost like you're giving a down back to the defense.
3 wides for the Giants now. Collins sends Toomer in motion to the right. Ravens showing blitz. They get some contact. There's contact up the middle from Sam Adams. If it's against the Ravens, it's a 1st down for the Giants.
All right, Matt, this is what I love. Kerry Collins using a long count, trying to get somebody off sides, and I think it works this time.
Should do that. Sam Adams getting too good of a jump in front.
Right.
95 defense, 5 yards. Resulting plays a 1st down.
Let me ask you this, Boom. Players talk about, at this stage of the year, we're not going to change very much. Now, what about the cadence? What about the count?
That will never change. It's how you use the count, and Kerry is very smart. Now, I don't know if you got that from Sean Payton on the sideline saying, hey, use the count in this situation just to remind him. But 3rd and 2, you got a very active defensive front. The quarterback knows that as part of his game plan coming into the game, and he executed it just right.
1st and 10 for the Giants now at their own 45. They're moving from left to right on your radio. Blitz on. Collins sprinting away from the defense. Looking to throw it on the run and just throws it low to the outside where only the receiver could catch it, but it's incomplete. Looking for Hilliard, and he was being pressured from the back by Peter Boulware.
Peter Boulware lined up on the left out. And then forces Collins back out to the right side, puts him on the run, only to force that incompletion.
2nd and 10 now for the Giants at their own 45. 5:41 left 1st half. 7-0 Baltimore.
And an empty backfield on 2nd down. I like it, Howard.
4-man front for Baltimore. Collins, the blitz on, throws and connects. After a 1st down for the Giants in Baltimore territory, Rod Woodson with a tackle on Ike Hilliard, and the Giants for the first time today are in Baltimore territory.
All right, this is the Giant offense that we saw executing against the Minnesota Vikings 2 weeks ago. 2nd down, spread them out, 5 wide, put Kerry Collins back in the shotgun so the blitz can't get to him, and he sees it. It's right in his face. He knows he's going to get hit. He releases the football. Another nicely thrown ball and a nice catch by Ike Hilliard. Tough catch over the middle.
Yeah, they spread him out like you said, Boom, and they brought the blitz inside, but he's back in that shotgun and can see it.
Campbell, who tight end in motion. Collins back to throw again. Throws it short. It's deflected, incomplete, and nearly intercepted by Ray Lewis. It was deflected at the line of scrimmage by Larry Webster.
Webster got his hand on it, but here's what's happening right now. The Giants have them a little bit on their heels, and they have to take advantage of it.
Keep it going. Keep throwing the football. That time just trying to throw a little hitch pattern to Tiki Barber. He hits Webster right in the middle of the helmet. And Webster's a big man, but you got to be able to see that.
Holy smokes, how could he miss it? Guy was going to Maryland.
Look at the size of his head. He did go to Maryland. You see the size of that man's head?
2nd down and 10 for the Giants at the 44 of Baltimore. Collins back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket and sacked by Keith Washington. 2nd sack of Collins, and the Baltimore defense, known for their pressure on the quarterback, get to Collins this time.
Boy, he beat him too. Washington did a good job. First, he was going to try the quick right there, but there was nothing going. And he had to pull it back down, and Lomas Brown got overpowered by Washington. And as he tried, now this is kind of tough on the tackle, because as he tries to roll back out to the left side, Washington just comes off and makes the play.
So the Giants now with 3 wideouts. Jaravicius in wide to the right. Mitchell, the tight end, in the slot to the right. It's 3rd and 20 for the Giants at their own 46. 4-man Baltimore front. They draw to Barber, running right, 45, and hit at the Baltimore 42-yard line. A gain of about 12 yards, but 8 yards shy of a 1st down.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. 3rd and 20. Maybe you pop a draw. They did. They got 15 yards on the play, so not a bad play at all. Now it's up to Maynard to put him inside the 10-yard line. Forget about the 20, inside the 10. And then the Giant defense has got to come on the field and use its timeouts.
And stuff them. Because you have 4.5 minutes right here. But that was a positive right there. First positive offensively we've seen all night.
Ravens lead 7-0. Brad Maynard to punt, a good snap from center. He kicks it to the right and hangs and is caught by Jermaine Lewis at about the 12-yard line. So it's 7-0 Baltimore. After a 30-yard kick, we have 4:09 to go until halftime. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Hi, welcome to Yahoo Auction School. A lot of people still haven't tried online auctions, so today we brought in Stella and Esther to demonstrate how easy it is. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. Hello.
All right, well, let's get started. Today we're going to be bidding on a hand-stitched quilt from the 1890s. Who'd like to start?
I will.
Okay, Stella, just enter how much you'd be willing to pay.
$15.
Great. Now it's your turn, Esther.
I'll bid $40.
You guys are pros already. Stella, do you want to bid again? Esther?
Hey.
What are you doing?
She unplugged my computer.
Esther, you can't do that.
Hey, I win. But I was going to bid again.
Stella, don't worry. You still have 2 more days to bid.
Oh, get her off me.
Get off her, Esther. You can't hold her down for 2 days.
Okay,
well, I want to thank Stella and Esther for coming, and good luck on Yahoo Auctions. Hey, ladies.
Do you, Yahoo?
Quality care service technicians at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealerships work hard all week, including Saturday. Saturday hours make it more convenient to give your vehicle the service it needs. Stop in for a great deal like brake service for $89.95 or less. Get the parts designed for your Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury installed by the people who know it best. That's quality care on Saturdays, too.
Install Motorcraft Preferred Value Pads front or rear. Excludes machining, rotors, taxes extra. See dealer for the service hours, price, and details through 3/18/2001.
Well, the guy that has the record for most touchdown passes in a Super Bowl is Steve Young, who did it in '95 against San Diego. I think that record's safe, James. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think anybody will throw 6 touchdown passes. I don't think both teams will combine for that. Steve Young, is it the lack of quarterback play, or is it the great defenses in this ball game?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, both teams are kind of playing to their personality. We probably won't have a per 50% passer in the Super Bowl, and I don't think that's going to shock anybody, although the Giants are shocking with how much they're throwing the football. The big play, and Boomer will know this, holding on a screen call. You never get that call. That should have been 7 the other way.
Now, what would you do if you were Trent Dilfer being the next Buccaneer quarterback?
I just play it tight to the vest. With this defense, I don't know how much more he needs to do.
Dilfer throws out to the left, and the catch is made by Brandon Stokely at the 19-yard line. Let's go back to James.
Steve Young predicted it exactly right. He played it tight to the vest, a nice little pass out in the flat. Steve Young, any favorite in this ballgame for you?
Well, I think if Kerry can get through the jitters and there's almost interceptions, then 1. He's throwing the ball plenty. I like the dynamic offense the Giants are trying to throw up. A couple of big plays could make this game go either way.
Well, thanks for your time. It looked like you had fun with that Caesar salad.
Where was he?
No wonder
at a restaurant?
No wonder,
watching it on TV or something?
No wonder Millen likes him. 2nd down and 4. The handoff to Lewis straight ahead. Cut down at the 20-yard line by Ryan Phillips. So now the Ravens will be faced with a 3rd down and about 2 with 3:23 and counting left in the first half. Baltimore has a 7-0 lead.
You know, Steve Young is exactly right. We talked about it. You never get that holding call on a screen. And in the Super Bowl, they called it, and they kept it from being a touchdown. It was the correct call, just that during the season, you never get that call.
This is a big down right here for the New York Giants defense, and it's 3rd and about 2.
Big down for Trent Dilfer right here.
4-man Giant front. Sharp in motion to the right. Dilfer back to pass. Has time. Airs it out down the left side, and the catch is made. Padre Esmail first down at the Giant 36-yard line as he beats Dave Thomas for 44 yards.
You know, the interesting thing, Matt, Dave Thomas lined up one-on-one with Ismail down on the left side. It's a mismatch because Ismail can run right past him. But 3rd and 2, you're not thinking that your quarterback is going to take this kind of risk this deep in your own zone. He had Shannon Sharp for a first down, 5 yards. He caught a break by doing this.
He also brought some pressure. He brought a blitz to the inside. That surprised me.
Nice throw. Nice throw.
It was a great throw. The best throw he's had all night.
That's our Net2Phone long-distance play of the game, brought to you by Net2Phone, changing the way you communicate. 1st and 10, Baltimore at the Giant 36-yard line. Dilfer on the draw to Lewis, trying to run left and cut down at the 35-yard line by Michael Barrow. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. Baltimore leading 7-0. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
I pledge to love and protect my children. And plastics are here to help
from the first heartbeat on an ultrasound monitor so I could meet my daughter before I ever held her. With safety gates and outlet protectors when I have to hold her back. Even her first trip was nestled in a plastic car to bring our new family home safe. How has plastic touched your life? The American Plastics Council. Plastics make it possible.
Hey, football fans, do you like to watch the most exciting games on the edge of your seat? Do you get so fired up that those hot wings, nachos, and poppers give you heartburn? Well, now you can enjoy the drama of the most exciting games heartburn-free. Introducing new Pepsi Complete, a whole new way to treat your heartburn. Nothing's faster than Pepsi Complete, not even Tums, and nothing lasts longer, not even Zantac 75. Pepsi Complete can be found in your favorite store, so the next time you shop before the game, look for new Pepsi Complete in the bright blue box or in the bottle with the big red cap. New Pepsi Complete.
Let's get set.
Wouldn't it be amazing to fly to L.A. and sort of live like a movie star for a few days? You could go to Priceline.com for a steal on airline tickets and then parlay the money you save into a cashmere craze shopping spree, a deep tissue massage, or dinner at a fancy restaurant. And then if somehow you wound up on a late-night talk show and the host said, "You look fantastic. What's your secret?" You'd say, "Oh, discount designer airfare."
Maybe on ice and save. Priceline.com.
The whole idea behind redesigning the all-new Dodge Caravan was to build a vehicle that is, given all sorts of choices, the one you choose for a long trip with a bunch of friends. And a big part of that was to make it so quiet that hours pass without fatigue. So quiet that conversations get carried on without strain. In other words, as quiet as a mouse. In sneakers. With laryngitis. Dodge Caravan. Different.
A reminder to stay tuned for the Novell halftime report with Tommy Togg. His guest will be the first man to wear number 33 in a Georgetown basketball uniform. And Kansas City coach Dick Vermeil, brought to you by Novell, the power to change. Do you know who the number 33 was at Georgetown?
PT, baby.
Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner of the NFL.
Who at one time was the all-time leading rebounder in Georgetown history, I think.
Second down. Dilfer throws over the middle. Incomplete. Had Kadri Ismail open at the 15-yard line. Ismail all week long has been saying, "My name is Kadri. There's no U after the Q in my name."
Did I say it?
No,
I didn't say it.
Oh, you're talking about
Quadri?
Quadri, right.
Quadri.
He's in a quandary over missing that Quadri pass.
Because he had him on it
wide open
on the inside against the zone, and he had time. And again, the ball just kind of took off, and Dilfer's not thrown the ball well at all tonight.
Well, except for two balls.
Except for two.
One for a touchdown and one for a nice little gain on 3rd and 2 of all things.
Big down here for the Giants on 3rd and 10.
Dilfer 6 of 16 for 102 yards.
Last time they came with the blitz.
Dilfer back. They pick it up. They swing it out of the backfield to Jermaine Lewis, who gets to about the 30 and gets out of bounds with 1 minute and 48 remaining in the half. 7-0 Baltimore. Let's go down to John Dockery. Doc?
You know, Howard, one thing fairly obvious is a fight breaking out on the sidelines along here right now. The
right
Giants
in front of you, Doc.
Yes, right in front of me.
Go get a piece of that, Doc.
Yeah, I'll get a piece
get
of
in
that.
there, Doc. Get in there, Doc. Get in there.
But look at this. It's still going on.
Well, get in there, Doc. Get in there.
Hit him first, Doc.
Yes.
Hit and swing. Tell him who you are, Doc.
I'll tell him, Matt Millen, come on, I'm chopping him down here. That's in the middle of the rush.
That's right, Johnny, on the spot right there.
Yeah, cooler heads did prevail, boy. What a, got a little nasty there for a minute.
The temperament of the Harvard guy prevails.
The physicality of this, I'm smart.
I knew he was going to come out with a word better than the soothing.
Yell to that guy in the striped shirt that he's an over-officious jerk.
I'll tell him you said that, man. He's really going to be happy with that.
Speaking of which, Marv Levy, one of the 7 inducted into the Hall of Fame, and the Ravens now going to try a field goal from Matt Stover of 47 yards, angle right. To try to give the Ravens a 10-point lead. Placement down. The kick is away. It is long enough, and it is good. Well, the Ravens come away with a 10-0 lead with still 1:41 remaining, and now we go back to what you were saying early on. The first team to 10. Would that be too different? Was it too much now for the Giants to overcome?
Still a little bit too early. I will say this. There's been 2 plays on offense all night long. Both of them belong to Dilfer. Both turned into points.
Well, again, we go back to the officiating man in our crew right now, John Dockery.
I had intended to make a point before you guys so rudely interrupted and that fight broke out down here. I was going to say it's becoming fairly obvious Giants cornerbacks and secondaries having trouble with the outside speed of the Ravens. And, I've been watching Jason Seed on and he seems flat most of the game. Yeah, he was beaten early by Stokely, but now he looks somewhat tentative. He's been given a good big cushion and having problems. I just don't know what's the matter with him. And hey, you guys know that as a cornerback, you better have a tall ego and a short memory. Sehorn and Thomas have to forget what happened to him so far and get back in this game.
Well, Jason Sehorn has been beaten 3 times.
Stover to kick it off to either Dixon or Washington for the Giants. 10-0 Baltimore and a very short kickoff. Dixon lets it hit. There's mistake number 5. He picks it up on a roll at the 12. Looking to run right. And gets hit. And there's going to be a face mask against Baltimore. And it's going to go against Brad Jackson. But a mistake by Ron Dixon. And he won't pay for it because there is the face mask on Baltimore.
That'll be a 15-yarder, too. So instead of being on the 12, it'll be on the 27.
Well, now Collins, who's 7 of 19.
Face mask. 50 of the kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
Kerry Collins, 7 of 19 for 59 yards. A far cry from a 5-touchdown performance against Minnesota 2 weeks ago.
Well, we knew he was going to be facing a much better defense in the face of the Ravens. I thought the last series, however, he started really to pick it up. He looked good. He was throwing the ball crisply. I would think now, what you have to think if you're an offensive player for the Giants, especially if you are Kerry Collins, let's get a little something on the board here.
Just get 3 field goals. You get 3 points or you're okay.
The momentum, get it back, and take that into the locker room with you.
Biggest thing he can't do is turn it over down here.
Be very careful.
1:34 to go in the half. 10-0 Baltimore. Dixon in the game is a third wideout. Collins back to throw. Drills it on time to Ron Dixon. First down across the 40 to the 44-yard line. They're all 3 timeouts are left for the Giants as they pick up 16.
Now the Ravens are just sitting back in a zone defense, and if they don't get any pressure on Kerry, he'll be able to sit back there and pick them apart.
Blitz on. They go inside on the handoff. It is Tiki Barber to the 50 to the 45. Inside the 40. Breaks the tackle and take it out of bounds inside the Baltimore 29-yard line by Rod Woodson. A missed tackle by Corey Harris on a 28-yard run.
Well, they were going to come with a blitz to the outside. They caught him in it. They caught him in that delay back up inside, almost like a little bit of a almost a draw kind of thing. But Barber caught the scene perfectly. They took advantage of Sam Adams up the field, and then he was also able to stop the clock as he got out of bounds on the 29-yard line.
Looks like Ron Stone got to Ray Lewis and cut him down right in the middle of the field.
Longest run against Baltimore. Collins pumps, throws down the middle, and is intercepted at the goal line by Chris McAllister.
Rushed himself, boom. He rushed himself right out of an opportunity, and that is just a killer. Just a killer. He had time. He could have been able to see the field. Instead, he just threw it up.
You know what, Matt? He had plenty of time. He didn't have to throw it down the field. This is a bad choice to throw it down there. 2 defenders right there with Ike Hilliard. He has Tiki Barber right about 5 yards deep over the ball. Just drop it to him.
Yeah, he had him. He was going to take a shot. Kim Herring, the free safety, was reading the whole thing. McAllister ran with him perfectly, and that was one stupid throw.
It was a bad throw by Kerry Collins. There's no question about that. I mean, Tiki Barber is right in front of him, 5 yards deep. Don't be a pig down here. Just take what they give you, and Kerry didn't do that.
So Dilfer from his own 4-yard line hands it off to Lewis and gets around the corner. Flag is down. Lewis at the 20 and Jason Sehorn wrestles him down, but there was a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be
I think it's going to be against the Giants. You remember Chris McAllister, last game of the regular season, just before halftime. Then he tested Verdi, hit McAllister right on the numbers, and he went 98 yards for a touchdown.
First down.
Well, they had him take a pinch on the Giants are defending left to right. The right defensive end, Cedric Jones, bounced to the inside. Sam Garnes got pinned, and there was nobody on the edge. Jamal Lewis bounced it to the outside and picked up a first.
That's 20 yards on the run. 47 seconds to go till halftime. 10-0 Baltimore.
Go play action there.
Dilfer hands it off instead to Lewis into the heart of the line for very little. If it's the inside word you need, Sportsline's award-winning NFL writers will have it. Get the inside scoop with exclusive columns and insight located only at cbs.sportsline.com. Of course, remember, Ravens led the league at 49 takeaways this year.
You know what's really interesting here is that Brian Billick is more than happy with the lead that he has.
Sure.
More often than not, your quarterback, you're going to put him in a position to be able to run a 2-minute drill. They have plenty of time to be able to run something from this point, and they're going to be content with letting the time run out.
This half is over, boys, and they come in with a 10-point lead with that defense. They like their chances. Now, keep in mind, in both Super Bowl wins that the Giants have had, they've been behind at halftime both times.
But this tells you what the coach thinks of his quarterback.
Last year, Tennessee was shut out in the first half and trailed 9-0. Right now, Baltimore has a 10-0 lead. A 38-yard touchdown to Brandon Stokely from Trent Dilfer, and the field goal by Max Stover. 10 teams have been shut out in the first half in Super Bowl history. Most recently, the Titans I mentioned last year, none have come back to win. It's 10-0 Baltimore as we throw it back to Tommy Ty. Tommy?
Okay, Howard, when we return, the NFL Commissioner, Paul Tagliabue, in mere moments. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One. Let's go right down to Boomer, Matt, and Howard. Fellas, take it away.
How are you? How are you doing there, Tommy? Okay, everything all right up there?
Everything's just perfect.
You got your coffee, everything you need?
Haven't got that yet. I'll be getting it in 5 minutes, though.
Matt spends a lot of time over there, so you bring something back for us, Matt?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
The Heat sure started the second half, sponsored by Heat Gasline Antifreeze. Cold engines start with Heat. Well, the Giants, basically, they're 14-4 right now. They've won 7 straight. They've outscored their opponents before today, 176-72 during the stretch, including 61-10 against Pittsburgh, against Philadelphia and Minnesota. Now they're on the short end. It's not panic time yet, but their offense has got to produce, and they got to produce soon.
Well, they certainly do have to produce. You know, Matt and I were talking, a lot of people around the press box are talking about how great these defenses are. I think it's been a struggle for the quarterbacks because there have been guys that have been open. It's not as if these guys have had somebody hanging around their neck the whole time. There's no question that the speed, especially of the Baltimore Ravens defense, can make you look bad at times. No question about that. But, you know, it was Kerry's decision to throw the ball deep down the middle at the end of the first half that basically made the problem happen. It wasn't because he was under pressure.
I completely agree.
It's a decision by a quarterback that has to be made, and it's simple.
And we have talked about, in every defense, in every scheme, there are going to be holes. You just need a little bit of time, and when you do have the time, there are ways to create time, which Sean Payton has done. He's rolled him out, but he's not slowed himself down, Kerry Collins. And then on the other side, Trent Dilfer he's made 2 nice throws. Other than that, he's looked pretty average.
He has, and I think now it's going to be up for the Giant defense to create a turnover some here in the second half to get that momentum back for the Giants.
Kickoff to Lewis, and this one might go out of bounds. And Lewis made a mistake. I think he fielded it at the 5. He's up to the 20, and now across the 30, so apparently he didn't make a mistake. He's still on his feet and finally tripped up at the 45, but there's a flag all the way back to the 30-yard line. I think if Lewis lets that ball bounce, it goes out of bounds. That's the way it was turning over from right to left, but he couldn't take that chance. He took off. It's going to come back.
Well, that's a tough decision because if you wait...
81 of the receiving team. You're the run back. 10 yards, first down.
The penalty is against Ben Coates.
If you wait and it doesn't bounce the right way, then you got problems. So you just have to take... See, the rule of thumb, though, is you never let the ball hit the ground in the kicking game, ever.
Yeah, but that ball, you had...
It was a tough one. He had to,
It looked like he slipped when he... Now, remember, where he kicked off from, this is where stages were... for Aerosmith and Britney Spears and NSYNC and Mary J. Blige, whoever else was out there.
Who?
You don't know who she is? You are. You need help.
Ravens with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. There's a flag on the play, and Jamal Lewis is taken down at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Keith Hamilton looks like he jumped offside, so...
Each time of possession brought to you by Bulletin, makers of fine timepieces for 125 years. It is against the Giants. The Ravens have had the ball for 14 minutes, 13 seconds. The Giants are 15 minutes, 47 seconds. Not a major stat at this point. Talked about Keith Hamilton. His career was going south. He was caught with possession by a New Jersey State trooper, and Jim Fassel went and bailed him out. And he said, you got 2 choices. You can either continue to go along this road, or you can stop right now before you cost yourself the rest of your life. And Fassel's had an impact on Keith Hamilton turning his life around. First and 5, Baltimore at their own 27-yard line. Dilfer with a quick drop, throws the bullet, and a terrific catch is made by Brandon Stokely for a first down.
That was a nice catch. It was a little slant pattern, and what is really alarming about this, if you're a Giant fan, is that Jason Sehorn was off about 10 yards, Matt, which is not, it's no man's land for a defensive back.
But there's a reason why you do that, though. Two of them. They came with a blitz to the outside. You know you're going to have pressure. Sometimes you sit back so you can drive that ball. But they made the slant to the inside. He really had no shot.
Yeah, but my point was he's not even driving the ball. Right. I mean, Stokely was wide open.
First and 10, Baltimore at their own 35. They lead 10-0. Just he had begun the third quarter. Jamal Lewis into the heart of the Giant line. And the blue shirts surround him at the 37-yard line. You just tuned in. The Ravens scored the game's only touchdown, a Brandon Stokely touchdown reception from Trent Dilfer of 38 yards. And then Matt Stover delivered a field goal of 47 yards, and that's the only scoring in the game.
Well, we said the first series of this third quarter, both teams offensively, will let you know exactly where they're at.
Second down and 8, Baltimore. Moving from right to left on your radio. A 5-man Giant front. Dilfer back to throw. Swings it out of the backfield to Jamal Lewis. And he is hit hard at the 42-yard line by the Giants' Mike Barrow. It is about 3 yards shy of a first down. Cornelius Griffin also in on the play.
I like this kid, Jamal Lewis. I like his hands out of the backfield. When he doesn't dance at the line of scrimmage, he's a lot more effective. He's a big, thick kid. I think he's going to be pretty good. He continues to improve the way he has through the season. Heck, he had 1,300 yards this year.
Doesn't look like much from Trent Dilfer, but he was having problems with that throw earlier in the game. That time he delivered it decisively and threw a nice ball.
Emmanuel McDaniel in the Giants secondary on third down at about 4. Dilfer takes the snap, drops straight back to throw, steps up, gets hit and sacked back at the 33 by Michael Strahan, his second sack of Trent Dilfer.
I'll tell you one party that is playing on the Giant defense, and that is Michael Strahan. He's been in the backfield the whole night, Matt.
Yes, he did. That was an excellent job just coming off that left side. Again, he's working against Harry Swain. He's able to beat him, but the reason he's able to get there also was because there was good coverage down the field. They were going to try to throw a 15-yard route, it looked like, and to hold on to it, and it looks like Dilfer's hurt.
He's had his problems with injuries. You all know about that. Here's a snap to the punter, Richardson. And he delivers a beauty. Tiki Barber backpedals and fields it at the 17-yard line. Tries to turn the corner on the right side. Gets to the 20. Gets a crushing block. But because he ran out of room, it didn't help an awful lot. Might have just sent a message, however.
Brandon Short just got Brad Jackson. You know, the interesting thing, when you go from one side of the field to the other, you got to keep your head on a swivel if you're a defensive player. And that time, my goodness, he got laid out.
51-yard punt, a 5-yard return. It's 10-0 Baltimore. This is Westwood One's coverage at Super Bowl 35.
Expressing yourself to the one you love can be hard to put into words. So this Valentine's Day, put your words into action with something new from the Adult Video Megaplex. Make your choice from our expanded novelty section filled with Kama Sutra products, massage oils, and toys guaranteed to take your love to the next level. Browse over 11,000 square feet of grown-up fun or ask our staff for assistance. At the Megaplex, our customers always come first. Choose from a selection of over 50,000 DVDs, videos, novelties, and magazines hot off the presses. You're sure to find what your heart desires. And remember, every Tuesday, rent 2, get 2 free. And any day of the week, rent any video for 5 days for $5. The Adult Video Megaplex, helping you put your love into action, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day of the year. Just south of William Cannon off I-35.
Today's broadcast of Super Bowl 35 intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of Westwood One of the National Football League is strictly prohibited. With Matt Millen, Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, and James Lofton, I'm Howard David. You're listening to Super Bowl 35 on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One. The Giants on offense, Jim Fassel, who started in the NFL as an assistant to the Giants back in 91 as a quarterbacks coach, went to Denver as the offensive coordinator and then the quarterback coach of the Raiders, and then was the offensive coordinator with the Arizona Cardinals and had a left-handed quarterback named Boomer Esiason that he helped rejuvenate to a 500-yard performance one day.
Well, it'll be interesting to see here what he decides in the second half. We talked about the strategy problems that he's going to have, and he was going to hold the keys to this football game. And I would think now, after watching this first half, throw the football and give Kerry Collins more opportunities.
Four-man front for Baltimore defensively. Collins hands it off to Barber, trying to run straight ahead for about 3, where he runs into Sam Adams, who's on his way to his first Pro Bowl. Let's go down to John Dockery.
Hey, you know, Howard, I'm just walking off the field with number 8 in his white uniform. Trent Dilfer is leaving the field. They're taking him into the locker room. Something to do with his left hand, his left arm. We will keep you posted.
Well, that would be a major turn of events, except if the Giants don't put any points on the board. It may not mean very much.
Well, now they're really turning it over to their defense.
Second down, about 7 for the Giants from their own 23. Hilliard in motion to the right. Collins play action, back to throw. Steps up and takes off across the 25 and slides down at about the 29-yard line, where Jamie Sharper touches him there. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of a first down.
You know what I see here, Matt, is Kerry's dropping back after a play action, trying to find 1 or 2 guys. He's unable to pick up his third receiver. This time, Tiki Barber's in the flat. All he has to do is step up and just drop it off to him.
He's eyeballing.
He is eyeballing. He's got horse blinders on, it looks like. He's just looking down the center of the field.
Giants are 0 for 7 on third down plays. They have it 3rd and 3. Ravens with a 5-man front. Collins back to throw. They pick up the blitz. He throws and connects to Hilliard, who takes a whack at the 35, but holds on to the football. And it's a first down for the Giants. Their first third down conversion of the ball game.
Well, nicely done, and he's able to just find it. You know, the biggest thing, they were expecting a dash to the right side. The Giants are going left to right. He did stop a little bit, but Hilliard got back down to the inside, was able to find the first down before he got hit by Rod Woodson.
Giants huddle up quickly, come out to the line of scrimmage, their own 35.
I like that.
10-0 Baltimore. Carmelo, the fullback, in motion. Collins back to throw. Looking once, looking twice, and gets tackled back behind the line of scrimmage. The sack recorded by Michael McCrary, and that is a coverage sack recorded by the Ravens, their third of the ball game.
That's exactly right, Howard. It was a coverage sack. Kerry had no place to go. He was trying to scan his offense. I guess the only thing that you could do here if you're a quarterback is throw it away. Realize that you don't want to take a sack. And McCrary is one of these guys on defense who just never stops going.
Tremendous motor.
Right. Always going. He was actually on the ground. Lomas Brown knocked him down, and he was kind of snake crawling across the ground and got Collins around the ankle.
McCrary with 28 sacks his last 2 years. 2nd and 18 Giants. Back at their own 27. Collins back to throw. Has time. Throws over the middle, and it's intercepted by Ron Woodson. Or is that Tim Herring?
Tim Herring.
It's Tim Herring.
Chopped down the forest
with a heading.
Well, again, Matt, you talked about it earlier. It is horse blinders, and Kerry is trying to force the situation here at 2nd and 18. All he has to do is get a little bit back on 2nd down. Again, Tiki Barber open in the flat, and he is trying to find Hilliard inside, and Herring reads the eyes of Kerry Collins. Right. Jumps right in front of Hilliard.
See, look, you're watching it the whole time. Remember, he's eyeballing him, and now you have a field day in this.
Just remember,
this game has gotten too big for Kerry Collins.
And now we're going to find out about Tony Banks and see if he can handle the game, because he's in to replace Trent Dilfer now.
Tony Banks was replaced by Dilfer on the 29th of October.
I would take a shot with him right out of the blocks.
Lewis Malone set back to receivers to the right. At the Giant 41-yard line following the third interception. They hand to Lewis off the left side for about 3 or 4, where Ryan Phillips meets him here. Well, in the Giants' 2 previous Super Bowls, with Hostetler as quarterback in one, Phil Simms in the other, no turnovers, and already Collins has thrown 3 interceptions.
No, and Trent Dilfer's in the locker room now. He's having his left pinky x-rayed. And now it falls on the hands of Tony Banks. Don't screw it up. Remember, Tony Banks was replaced after an 0 for October, no touchdowns in 5 games.
And yet the Ravens kept winning. And the MVP then was Matt Stover, the field goal kicker. 2nd down and 5. The hand to Lewis. There's room up the middle and drives to about the 30-yard line for a first down for Baltimore.
That was probably the best run of the day, Matt, by either team up inside the guards. And this time, at least now it looks like the offensive line of the Ravens has started to push
that defensive line of the Giants off the football.
Nicely done inside by Mulatalo, the left guard. Just coming off the ball. Yeah, that's what you have to do. And that's right. That falls on the shoulders of Keith Hamilton and Christian Peter. Now they've got to pick their game up.
Jeff Mitchell, the center, also in on that play, celebrating his 27th birthday tomorrow from nearby Hillsborough, Florida. Blitz is on. Lewis slips out of the tackle but gets whacked at about the 31-yard line by Mike Barrow, who's had a big game for the Giants. However, with 7.5 to play in the third quarter, the Ravens have a 10-0 lead. And so far, they have scored 10 points off 2 Giants turnovers.
Well, they came with a run blitz inside. Michael Barrow and Jesse Armstead just blew up inside, anticipating that it was going to be a run. Jamal Lewis saw it, tried to bounce it to the outside, but there was nowhere to go. Nicely done on the right outside by Cedric Jones. So now, boom, this is what I'm talking about. You got to take a shot here. You can't draw it up.
You just can't keep running it and running it. Right. I understand, but I don't necessarily know how much.
Sure, you're like in a 47-yard field goal already.
I don't know how much Brian Billick trusts Tony Banks.
Well, I'll give you the answer. He does.
Lewis has 63 yards rushing on 17 carries. Banks with a quick drop, looks and throws, and the ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. I don't know who that was exactly, but I want to say it was Griffin.
We had a shot. Stokely, they're going to run a tight end. You had a tight end wide receiver to the left side as they're going right to left. You took the tight end, you took him to the outside to draw the backer coverage, and then Stokely came on a slant behind, but looked like he got knocked down, like you said, by...
No, that was Hamilton that actually got his hand on it.
No, I've been a guy that has thrown interceptions like this in a game like Kerry Collins. What does it do to you as a defensive player on my team if I'm doing that?
Well, in this game, you got to forget it. There's nothing really matters. It's about change of possession. You have to make a big play.
3rd and 10, Baltimore. They lead 10-0. Banks on the handoff, straight ahead. Priest Holmes inside the 25. It's not enough for a first down, but it is a shorter field goal try now for Matt Stover.
And I think that's all Brian Billick. He knows it on the sideline. You could see, you know what? We're just going to kick the field goal. Our defense hasn't been, beat all night long, so we're just going to stay with it. So
it'll be a smart call.
Yeah,
41-yard try right now. Stover was on his way to his first Pro Bowl. Led kickers this year with 135 points. Richardson to put it down. Placement is down. The kick has got plenty of distance.
And he missed it.
It is no good. It is no good.
That's a break for the Giants right there.
Now they get it.
Take advantage of it.
Well, they get it from the spot of the kick, not the line of scrimmage.
31-yard line.
6:03 to go, third quarter, 10-0 Baltimore. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
Listen up, this is your mouth talking. Lately, you've been giving me a lot of lip. You know, like cold sores? Now, I don't mean to complain, but mouths don't like cold sores. So get some Herpesonel. You see, Herpesonel's not just lip service. Herpesonel is real medicine with a skin protectant that helps aid healing, emollients to keep your lips from painful cracking, and SPF 36 to help prevent cold sores from forming. So, listen to what your mouth is telling you. No more cold sores. Get real medicine. Herpesonel. Use only as directed.
Keep in touch with friends and family this holiday season with Sprint PCS and Pinky's Wireless. Get anytime, anywhere, long distance, just $34.99 a month for 1,500 clear wireless minutes. Stop by any one of Pinky's Wireless 13 Austin locations to receive 250 anytime minutes plus 1,250 night and weekend minutes. And because all minutes include long distance from anywhere on the Sprint PCS nationwide network, you can reach out to friends and family wherever they are. Sprint PCS gives you even more savings with a $100 mail-in rebate on any 2 new Sprint PCS phones or a $30 mail-in rebate on 1 phone. Go buy any Pinky's Wireless and activate your new phone on a Sprint PCS free and clear plan starting at only $29.99 a month. And check out these great Sprint rebate offers or call 44-PINKY, but hurry. These offers end December 31st. Sprint PCS, built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network from the ground up for clearer calls, serving more than 300 major metro areas. Don't trust your holiday calls to anyone else but Sprint PCS and Pinky's Wireless. Restrictions apply. See printed material for details.
For the first time in Super Bowl history, you, the fans, get to cast a deciding vote for tonight's MVP. Log on to SuperBowl.com and vote. Powered by CBSSportsline.com. SuperBowl.com, the official site of Super Bowl 35. Trent Dilfer has come running out of the locker room, and I expect that at some point in short order we'll hear from John Dockery, and he'll tell us about Dilfer's condition. He went in. Let's go to John.
Howard, I just followed him out of the locker room where everybody was under there. They took x-rays. They went into the locker room with him, checked it. He was asked how he was feeling. He was in pain. said, was it broken? He said, I don't know. I'll tell you after the x-rays. Obviously, he's back out. We'll keep you posted.
Collins back to throw and hits Kiki Barber for a very short pickup out in the flat, where he is dropped by Chris McAllister, who has one interception, one of the 3 thrown by Kerry Collins in this game.
You know, we talked about it before the game, Matt. I'll reiterate it again. We talked about the quarterback with the ironclad stomach as we watch the Giants go to their 2-minute hurry-up offense.
I like this.
Kerry Collins has got to have that stomach right now. He's just got to forget everything that he's already done and see if he can manufacture some points.
Collins throws, and Hilliard catches and then fumbles it. And the Ravens have recovered it at the 50-yard line, or is it incompletion?
No, it was, I don't know.
I thought it was a completion. 2 feet came down. It should be a fumble.
Well, they'll review it if nothing else.
They're calling it an incompletion.
Well, this is ruled incomplete. Incomplete pass.
This would be interesting to see whether or not Brian Billick decides to review this.
Well, this will be a 3rd down, 3rd and 10.
1-2. He's got the ball.
Down.
That's a catch.
Yes, it is.
Catch and a fumble.
If I'm the Giants, I make this play in a hurry. Otherwise, Billick's going to throw that little red flag out there.
Well, they're in their 2-minute offense. There's no question. And the thing about it here is that they can look at it on the big screen because they're showing it on the big screen here in the stadium, and Billick doesn't do it.
Can't challenge now. Collins throws. Barber catches, slips a tackle, but is brought down hard at the 38-yard line.
And that's why he let it go, because it was 3rd and 10. They haven't done anything all day. Forget it. Turn it over to your defense. The stiff will take care of it himself.
Lewis and McCrary combined.
I'm just thinking what my thoughts would be on the sideline.
I understand that.
Now, how are your thoughts going to change as an administrator?
They're
going to be worse. They're going to be worse.
Right now,
his thoughts are going to be worse.
You think you're going to start calling your players stiffs?
If they are? No. That's tough, though. I mean, he's just... Kerry Collins has never slowed himself down all game long.
But he threw a nice ball to Ike Hilliard right in the seam. If Hilliard just holds on to the ball, 1st down.
Well, this is going to tie a Super Bowl record. 15 punts in this game by these 2 kickers. And this one is a good one. A high, deep kick over to the sidelines. Lewis stepped out of bounds, then let it hit. And I think it hit out of bounds at around the 20-yard line.
Perfect kick. It hit out of bounds at the 17. A beautiful kick by Brad Maynard.
45 yards, 4.5 to play, 3rd quarter. 10-0 Baltimore. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Each month during the season, NFL players nominate teachers to be named the NFL Teacher of the Year. The winner receives a $5,000 grant, and $10,000 is presented to the school. And the teacher gets to go to the Pro Bowl along with the NFL's best players and coaches. Huddle up with the teachers in your community. They are as important as coaches. They just don't get to blow loud whistles. The preceding message furnished by the National Football League.
From Cheyenne to Chicago, from Buffalo to Bismarck, more cold engines in more cold places start with heat. Heat Gasline Antifreeze, America's #1 brand for fast cold weather starts. From the Great Plains to the Great Lakes, from the Rocky Mountains to the rocky coast of Maine. Whatever state of cold you're in, heat removes water and prevents gasline freeze-up. Heat Gasline Antifreeze. Cold engines start with heat.
Hills, you are nature's elevator. You are the high road. Hills, you tempt me like a tempting temptress or something, and I make a mockery of you, you elusive, rascally Hills.
All righty then. Leave it to a Jeep Wrangler owner to rise to the occasion when it comes to something like Hills. You get like that when you've got the original 4x4 that can take you to such great heights. Jeep Wrangler. It kind of evens out the whole man versus nature thing. Jeep is a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler.
Don't forget to join us again next Sunday for the final game of the season. AFC and the NFC go head-to-head in Honolulu. It's the Pro Bowl live from Aloha Stadium. Join me, Howard David, with Boomer Esiason and John Dockery at 5:15 Eastern Time. It's the NFL. It's on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One. Matt, before you leave, by the way, before you leave the broadcast, you have to turn back in your old floral shirts from previous Pro Bowls.
Well, I already gave it to my kids. They took them. Let's see what Dilfer can do now, see how his finger responds.
Well, Trent Dilfer back in the game. He's going to throw. Deep drop, looking long, throws it over the middle, and on time, but unable to hold on is Shannon Sharp. That was a well-thrown ball by Dilfer down the middle of the field. Sharp unable to hold on. Let's go down to Doc.
Howard, it certainly was a well-thrown ball. Sharp should have had it, and here's the official diagnosis on on Trent Dilfer's left pinky. Okay, it was a left fifth metacarpal. They took x-rays. They're negative, and obviously he's back in the game. Threw that ball real well.
The fifth metacarpal, one of your favorite bones.
It hurts. It's right on the inside of your knuckle, and it's probably really swollen, and it hurts, and every time he takes a snap, he's going to feel it.
Yep. Not with that Novocaine they have in it.
2nd and 10. Baltimore. Dilfer changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap. Goes back to throw. Airing it out. Deep down the right side. And over the head of both Sehorn and Johnson. And the pass was actually thrown out of bounds. And we've seen that several times tonight from Dilfer.
And you can see as he gets up, he's looking at his finger as Michael McCrary now is going underneath the stadium to have something looked at. We're not sure what that's all about. We'll get back to you with that when we get the update. But as watching Trent Dilfer happen today, Matt, I mean, it's just like he's off, even though every other pass or every 4th or 5th pass seems like it's on. For the most part, they're landing out of bounds, especially the ones he's trying to throw deep down the sideline.
Baltimore 2 of 11 on 3rd down plays, but they lead 10-0 in the 3rd quarter. Dilfer back to throw. They push up the middle. Dilfer is hit by Strahan as he throws. Incomplete.
Strahan and Keith Hamilton, excellent job. Ran a nice stunt to the inside. Just blew it up with power. And, and part of it, sometimes the Dilfer has time when he's made bad throws. Other times, it's just been good defense by this New York Giant team.
I will say this. If the Giants can get some momentum, any little bit of momentum, I don't see the Raven offense moving the ball the rest of the second half.
Do I?
They're not even close to moving the ball.
Down to the 4-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. That 4th quarter is just about on us. They better get on their horse.
Richardson to punt. Takes the snap at the 5 and delivers it upfield. A wobbly kick, returnable by Barber from the 35. With room at the 40, trying to go wide to the left side, 45, and gets whacked. I mean, you can hear the crack of the shoulder pads of the helmets as they collide, and Anthony Davis makes the stop. 48-yard kick and a 9-yard return, and there's a player down.
Yeah, and Robert Bailey is motioning over right away, because that was the hit. That was a heck of a shot by the Ravens.
I think it was Anthony Davis.
It was Anthony Davis. He smacked them good, and they...
Well, we have 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 10-0 Baltimore. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
I watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream.
In today's net economy, companies are struggling to change, struggling with the complexities of e-business, with making intranets, extranets, and the internet work together across any platform. With Net Services software from Novell, they can all work together as one net. Novell, the power to change.
Big Blue has discovered the magic of playing in New Jersey. Shouldn't you? Stroll along white sand beaches, feel like a pro on plush green fairways, explore the path of the American Revolution by day, or catch the excitement of Atlantic City by night. Just make sure to leave time for some world-class shopping and 5-star dining. New Jersey, it's your ticket to the perfect vacation. For your free travel guide, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ, extension 1944. That's 1-800-VISIT-NJ. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
I love the family road trip, all of us together on this big adventure. Thanks to plastics, like in our airbags and seatbelt straps, we're a lot safer on the road. Even our windshield is shatter-resistant because of plastic, making a big difference if we ever need it. Because we have many more miles to go and a lot more songs to sing. I put a lot of faith in plastics to help bring my family back home safe.
How has plastic touched your life? The American Plastics Council. Plastics make it possible.
Let's go down to James Lofton. James?
Hey, Howard, I'm here in the booth again with Tom Flores, Super Bowl championship coach from Super Bowl 15 over the Philadelphia Eagles, and then Super Bowl 18 here in Tampa against the Washington Redskins. We've seen little offense today. Do we need a Marcus Allen trick run coming up?
Well, I think so. Let's watch this play and see, but so far neither team's been able to sustain any offense.
Best starting position for the Giants. The slant is picked off. Wayne Starks going the distance. Wayne Starks, touchdown, Baltimore, a 49-yard return of a Kerry Collins pass. That's the 4th interception thrown by Collins, and this one likely hurts the most.
Guys, what you have is you have trips to one side on the left, and you have Amani Toomer all by himself at the bottom. Good defensive coordinators tell their players,
when they line up in this particular formation, watch this slant on the backside. The quarterback's reading one-on-one. Dwayne Stark's reading the quarterback the whole way. Just jumps right in front of Amani Toomer and takes it the distance.
And you know why, Boom? Tunnel vision. Eyeballed it the whole way.
But, you know, it's also, as you know, Matt, it's all about recognizing formations and defenses, and that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens did.
Giants were the only team in the league not to give up a return touchdown this year of some kind. Interception, kick, punt, anything. Now they have given one up, and the point after is good, and the Ravens go up 17-0. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Is your job getting in the way of your love of sports? Imagine, you could be spending the afternoon at a favorite athletic event. Instead, you're stuck at your desk making a living. But not if you have Arch Webster 100 wireless email service and the Motorola T900 communicator. It lets you read and reply to all your business emails from anywhere in the U.S., especially a nice warm stadium seat. Call Arch at 1-866-ARCH-123. That's 1-866-ARCH-123.
How does America get back to business? At Office Depot, you'll find everything your business needs to start the new year. From files to folders, boxes to binders, cabinets to copy paper. Nobody sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot. So whether you visit our store, shop online, or order by phone, you'll find guaranteed low prices every day on everything you need to succeed. Office Depot, official sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
Hey, football fans, do you watch the most exciting games on the edge of your seat? Do you get so fired up that those hot wings, nachos, and poppers give you heartburn? Well, now you can enjoy the most exciting games heartburn-free. Introducing new Pepsid Complete, a whole new way to treat your heartburn. Pepsid Complete is so fast, it starts to neutralize acid in seconds, and it lasts so long. Nothing's faster than Pepsid Complete. Not even Tums. Nothing lasts longer, not even Zantac 75. Look for new Pepsid Complete in the bright blue box or in the bottle with the big red cap. The only thing better than a down-to-the-wire Super Bowl are down-to-your modem highlights and exclusive photos from the game. Check out SuperBowl.com, the official Super Bowl 35 site, powered by CBSSportsline.com. Now back to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35.
4 interceptions thrown by Kerry Collins. That ties the Super Bowl record. Craig Morton had 4 interceptions in Super Bowl 12. Jim Kelly of Buffalo in Super Bowl 16. And in Super Bowl 31, Drew Bledsoe threw 4 against Green Bay. The last one likely, Matt, to be the most damaging of the lot.
Matt, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, what about it? What else can you say? I mean, you're right. This game's basically over the way they've been playing.
Most damaging of the lot, Matt. It's a kickoff to Ron Dixon. He's up to the 20, to the outside 30. Breaks a tackle at the 40. He could go. Ron Dixon down the middle of the ballpark. They won't catch him. Touchdown, Ron Dixon. 97 yards. And the Giants are not dead yet.
Matt, you said it was over.
Right, I meant until that play.
Oh, okay.
You didn't listen to Young. He finished that thing.
Well,
finally, they got themselves something. And what they got was Ron Dixon, a nice job in blocking on a left return. Once he hit the crease, it was over.
Well, the Giants had to get offense from somewhere. And this is not an unlikely source. You know, he did this against the Philadelphia Eagles the first play of the game.
That's the 4th longest kickoff return for a touchdown in Super Bowl history. Of course, the biggest was Desmond Howard. Now the point after. The first of the game for Brad DeLuiso. 2 touchdowns in 18 seconds. 1 for each. The Ravens now lead 17-7. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
This is Steve Kerr. Follow the Spurs this season right here.
Searching Westwood. Let's go. Boston.
Howard, David McMillan, Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, and James Lofton. A game that pretty much has been extremely quiet, too quiet. And the Giants and the Ravens have just scored 2 touchdowns, 1 each. in 18 seconds.
Well, you're just waiting for something to happen good for the Giants, and certainly they've been the manufacturer of the poorer play because of all the interceptions and the turnovers. But Ron Dixon, a tremendous run. I mean, and great blocking at the point of attack. Nobody was even close to him, Matt, as he wove through the left side of the defense of the kickoff coverage for the Ravens, and just it was smooth sailing from the 50 on. There was nobody even close.
So for the first time after a score by the Giants.
How about an onside kick right here?
Not beyond the realm of impossibility, but they're going to pick this one off. It'll be Lewis at the 16, up to the 20, stutter step 25, to the 30, to the outside 40. Lewis to the 50, down the sidelines. There he goes. Goodbye, Jermaine Lewis. 84 yards for a touchdown. Jermaine Lewis matches his uniform number and goes the distance.
Did I mention to you that it's over? Well, is that the first time for back-to-back touchdowns, or is the second time?
Actually, somebody else did that.
Hate when that happens.
Detroit and Green Bay.
3 touchdowns in the last 36 seconds. We've been complaining about no scoring, and here we go.
You know, you should have known that it was Detroit and Green Bay did it. Well, of course. No, it could have been Detroit and Green Bay.
Terry Fair isn't a regular season game.
This year.
Oh, this year.
Roll not the Super Bowl.
What about the Super Bowl?
It's the first time it ever happened in a Super Bowl.
And the play after by Stover is good. 24-7 Ravens. Well, if you're neutral, you love it because you're seeing big plays. The Giants hate it because they thought they got themselves back in, and with 3:13 left in the third quarter, they're not out of it, but they sure didn't need that.
You want to know what happened there? And I don't want to get too technical on this, but, Brad Dalluiso, kicks a low ball and a short ball. And by the time the Giants are actually close enough to Jermaine Lewis, he's already up the field to about the 30-yard line.
He got himself a great block by Corey Harris.
Yes, he did.
Fantastic block. 2 guys with 1 block. And Jermaine Lewis doesn't need much room to be able to get through it on that right sideline. It was all she wrote.
See, I don't think Ron Dixon's going to return this kickoff because he's probably tired from the last one. And that just happened a little while ago.
So let me clarify this. That's the first time ever in Super Bowl history a back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back kickoff return scores, right. But not the first time this year.
No, it was only the second time ever in NFL history that it was back-to-back touchdowns.
Well, these two franchises or the cities really, have long traditions. Baltimore, of course, the Ravens coming from Cleveland, but the one-time Baltimore Colts certainly had a lot of tradition and a lot of great players. And everybody remembers the 1958 Classic called the greatest game ever played. It really wasn't the greatest game, but it was just opened up everybody's eyes to the pro game. Dixon on the return, doubles back against Harris, and is dropped by Corey Harris at the 25.
Hey, there's something different, a tackle on special teams.
Let's go down to James Lofton.
Guys, I've been sitting with Tom Flores. We've watched 3 plays, produced 21 points. My question beforehand, watch the Ravens defense. Do you think they're the best ever? And if not, what defenses would you rank above them?
Well, I tell you, they're the best that I've seen in recent years, but you got to do it consistently. I have to go back to some of those great Steeler defenses. Actually, James, our defense in '83 when we hit the Super Bowl was a pretty good defense because we held the Redskins to only 9 points that year, but this is an outstanding defense.
You heard it, Howard. Outstanding.
Well, he might have consciously omitted the Chicago Bears of '86. They were pretty good.
They were pretty good. But remember, this is a defense. Look at the amount of points that it gives up. The amount of points that you give up, that's the key. And then the amount of points that you score for your team, and that's exactly what this defense does.
Loss of a yard, Collins throws, and it's nearly picked off by Ray Lewis, who had a deep drop on the pass intended for the tight end, Pete Mitchell. Let's go downstairs to John Dockery.
Howard, you and Matt and Boomer were talking about the short kickoffs by Brad Dalluiso, and I asked Jim Fassel before the game because, who was out? Jared Holmes was out kicking off, and I said to him, well, who kicks off today? Is it Holmes or is it Dalluiso? He said, it's Dalluiso. And he said he hoped that the warm weather would help him out. His kicks have been short against the Vikings, against Philadelphia. He was worried. Obviously, it affected him on that last kickoff.
Well, the Giants now have a 3rd and 11. Doc, thanks. Back of the 24 of the Giants. Hilliard in motion. Collins back to pass. In trouble. Throws as he gets whacked and driven to the turf by Sam Adams. It is incomplete.
And you know what's bad about that? three-man pressure. That's a three-man line. Adams coming right up the center. And you can't get pressure that quickly on your quarterback when you're rushing only three guys. And I mean, he splits a double team, which is inexcusable if you're the offensive line of the Giants.
Sam Adams has played himself a pretty darn good football game here today.
Bad communication right there on the offensive line of the Giants, because you can't let Sam Adams come up the middle with two guys blocking him.
The effort and the effectiveness of having a big-time kick returner has paid off once again for Baltimore. Here's the Maynard kick to Jermaine Lewis. He fields it at the 35, and that's where the Ravens will take over with 2:19 left. 3 touchdowns in 36 seconds. 24-7 Baltimore. That was maybe they should.
Well, the one thing we haven't seen tonight, Howard, we haven't seen a turnover from the Giants defense.
Right.
Now that's what we got to start seeing if the Giants want to get back into this game.
Dilfer under center. He hands to Lewis, running right, across the 35, and cut down after a gain of a yard by Sam Garnes with 2:10 left in the third, and the Ravens on top 24-7.
Would your coaches tell you, Matt, you have to get the ball, you have to rip the ball out at this point? I mean, I know they're always talking about stripping the ball and trying to create turnovers, but does the awareness start to heighten now as you get to this point in the game?
Yeah, and you know what's going to... They haven't really... Defensively, they've played pretty well. They haven't really done much against this New York Giant defense. And then it really comes into play in gang tackling. The first guy always has to make sure that the hit, the second guy comes in to make the strip.
Dilfer takes the snap and goes back to throw under a rush. He throws, and the catch is made by Ben Coates over the middle for a first down to the Baltimore 48-yard line.
Well, Trent Dilfer showing me some toughness there, sticking it into Ben Coates as Michael Strahan delivers a blow as soon as he throws the football. But it seems like Trent Dilfer's gotten a little bit better here since he's come back from the injury. I mean, he knows he's going to get drilled. Strahan hits him right in the ribs, and he delivers the ball accurately down the field to Ben Coates.
Well, you said, who's the quarterback who's going to have the cast iron stomach? Right now, you got to say it's Dilfer.
Certainly has been.
Keep in mind against Tennessee, and I'll finish the thought in a second. 1st and 10 Baltimore at their own 48. Jamal Lewis running left. No gain to the 50-yard line. Against Tennessee, Dilfer threw for 281 yards. 2 touchdowns, was intercepted once, and he was sacked 5 times in that game and still hung around for the victory.
Well, just remember this now. The Ravens have put on 14 points on the scoreboard, one by special teams and one by their cornerback, Dwayne Starks, and an interception return. I mean, this is Ravens football at its finest. This is exactly what it is. And you can take a look at what the offense is doing here. They're just kind of methodically just trying to run the ball and run the clock down and just kind of eat up as much time as they possibly can. This is the way the Ravens win.
24 points, 7 first downs. 2nd down and 8. Dilfer rolling right, throws it on the run. Nice catch by Shannon Sharp at the 45-yard line, about 2 yards shy of a first down. That's the end of the third quarter with the Ravens on top, 24-7. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
Here's a special calling card you won't find hanging out at the checkout counter. It's the 3.9-cent Net2Phone Direct prepaid calling card. And with our auto recharge feature, it never runs out of time. That's as low as 3.9 cents with local access for all calls throughout the U.S. Pennies more internationally. And you're guaranteed up to 100 minutes free. Call 1-877-SO-SO-LOW for your 3.9-cent Net2Phone calling card. You'll save 24/7 at home or away with no hidden fees. Just 99 cents monthly for service, and payphone surcharges may apply. All for 3.9 cents a minute and 100 minutes free. Get your credit card and call 1-877-SO-SO-LOW and learn how to get up to 1,500 minutes of free calls with your 3.9 rate. That's 1-877-SO-SO-LOW. Or online at net2phonedirect.com. Net the number 2phonedirect.com. Or 1-877-SO-SO-LOW. That's 877-767-6569 for your 3.9-cent card.
When you watch the game from a Toshiba HD TV, you feel as if you're actually part of your favorite team. With the Power Focus optic technology, you'll have the picture equivalent to a view from the sidelines. And with the new IDSC2 scan conversion system, you'll be able to make better calls than the referees. Football becomes so alive on Toshiba HD TV. You may feel a little wet after they dump that cooler full of water on the head coach. Toshiba HD TV. Your team will love you for it. Toshiba, it's that kind of love.
Sand. At times you are quick, At times you are a castle, and yet I am perplexed by how difficult it is to ride my unicycle through you. But now you are no big whoop to me, sand.
Leave it to a Jeep Wrangler owner to put perspective on something as coarse as sand. In Wrangler, you can do anything under the sun, and at such a great price, owning one is like having it made in the shade. Jeep Wrangler, it kind of evens out the whole man versus nature thing. Jeep is a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler.
Third Super Bowl in Tampa. Super Bowl number 18 in 1984, and then Super Bowl 25 in 1991, won by these Giants, but not this particular Giant team, but by the Giants as Scott Norwood's kick went wide right late in the ball game, and the Giants held on for the win. The direct snap back to Jermaine Lewis for a few yards, and he almost got the first down. A little bit of trickery on the direct snap by Baltimore. Sean Williams makes the stop. That was a third down play.
That's one of those plays where if it works, it looks like the greatest thing in the world. But, you know, you're talking about letting your quarterback try to make a third down for you. In this situation, I can't believe that they try to run this play. Well, what?
I'll leave that alone.
well,
I'll tell you after the game.
Okay.
Oh, tell us now, please. Come on. Hilliard back to await the punt of Richardson. It's at high in the air, wobbly kick, fair catch made by Hilliard at the 8-yard line of the Giants.
I'll tell you that Kyle Richardson is some punter, Matt.
Yeah, he's had a big game.
He has had a big game. Now on the, the 8-yard line.
So with a timeout, it's 24-7 Baltimore. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
Hi, Craig Way, and right now our friends at Lee Johnson Ford have a huge selection of over 580 F-Series trucks on sale. Right now, after $1,000 cash back, 2001 automatic Ford F-150 4-door XLT Super Cabs with air conditioning are sale tagged for only $20,799. Plus, on a 36-month option with zero down plus TT&L, these automatic 4-door XLT Super Cabs are on sale for just $319 a month. Lee Johnson Ford, Airport at Koenig, just south of Highland Mall.
I bought a house from Mobile Home Mall.
Pleasant experience?
Oh, great.
Great.
As opposed to? A girl that I had worked with bought a manufactured house from me.
A Mobile Home Mall competitor.
And a year after she bought it, she was still trying to get in it.
Not going to happen at Mobile Home Mall.
You walk in down there, and right on the front wall, they got their big mission statement that says how they put their customers first and they do business the old-fashioned way.
Mobile Home Mall.
And they do what they say they're going to do.
Be happy. Call 1-877-600-MALL.
Let's go down to John Dockery. Dockery, got an update on McCrary?
Yes, I do, Howard, and he's back in the game. If you look at his right hand, you'll see that it's in a cast. He actually broke his knuckle. They took him inside, found out it wasn't a compound fracture. He's back at his right hand position. Meanwhile, good thing they're deep at the defensive line position. Rob Burnett, he rolled his left ankle. He's questionable. And for the Giants, Rod Dixon, cramps on the sidelines. His return is questionable.
Cramps? Well, cramps? I don't think he stuttered like it's hot here or anything.
Yeah, well. Now, looking at this game, going into the start of the fourth quarter, nobody has distinguished himself in the MVP category. And I know maybe the biggest plays today have been in field position in the kicking game.
Well, for the first time, as you well know, in Super Bowl history, the fans do get a chance to cast the deciding vote for the MVP. Log on to SuperBowl.com and vote, powered by CBSSportsline.com. SuperBowl.com is the official site of Super Bowl 35. I'm thinking that maybe you might give it to Kyle Richardson, the punter.
Never.
Well, I have a vote. I have a vote. He doesn't.
No.
Richardson's had 9 punts with 43-yard average. Collins out of his shotgun, back to the goal line, pumps once, throws on the run, incomplete, and Barber paid the price out in the flat. He just got killed out there by Robert Bailey, who, by the way, when he was with the Rams, had a punt return of 103 yards.
Well, you see, that's the defense right there, Howard. This is the thing. Cheeky's not catching this ball, but Robert Bailey leaves, a message.
And he left a mark, too.
And he definitely left a mark.
That'll leave a mark.
How about the Giants? No rushing first downs today.
Well, you knew the ball was going to be impossible to run. Now the Giants spread the field. Collins back to the goal line in trouble. Sack, fumbles the ball. The Ravens may have it inside the Giant 5, but the Giants do wrestle it away. Kerry Collins never saw McCrary with one arm. Knock him loose.
Just blew right by the left offensive tackle there, and that's Lomas Brown.
Well, we talked about this. You hear so much about Ray Lewis and Rod Woodson, and rightfully so, great football players. But to be a great team, there has to be some unselfishness on your football team. And Sam Adams, Tony Saragusa, Peter Boulware, and Michael McCrary are those unsung heroes that are finally starting to shine, and they're coming to fruition in the biggest game of the year for them.
Lomas Brown, by the way, recovered the fumble for the Giants. And now face a 3rd and 15. Collins back to the end zone. Throws out to the left. Nobody looking, and the ball drops right at the feet of McAllister on the pass allegedly intended for Jerovich.
Interesting. They came with a blitz. Marvin Lewis dialing up a blitz. Marvin Lewis called an excellent game here.
Well, they're putting
does have some good players.
They're putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, he brought the trap off the left side as they're defending left to right and forced that throw. And actually, McAllister, if he can get away from the receiver, that's another pick.
Jermaine Lewis, who has one kickoff return for a touchdown, stands at the 49 of the Giants, awaiting Brad Maynard's punt. Got his heels at the back of the end zone, awaiting the snap from center. It is a good one. They set up the run for Baltimore, and Maynard's kick is a wobbly kick. Fair catch as they wave everybody away. It bounces sideways. It bounced over one of the Ravens and might have grazed him. But apparently it didn't.
I think it went right over his rear end.
It did. I'll tell you, what a break McAllister caught, but this is the way it's been going for the Giants today. McAllister's on the ground. The ball is bouncing towards him. It bounces right over him without him even knowing that it's happening. It's almost like he has to do the limbo. The limbo.
La 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 la. It's Chubby Checker. I shouldn't know these things.
13 minutes left in the ball game. 24-7 Baltimore. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 35.
Hi, this is Craig Way. To tell you once more that Sprint PCS offers great deals on Sprint PCS digital phones. They ought to. Sprint PCS offers the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network that they themselves built from the ground up, serving more than 300 major metropolitan areas. I should know I've used my Sprint PCS phone in nearly all of those major metropolitan areas. You can really tell the difference. Take it from me and try Sprint PCS. It is, after all, the clear alternative to cellular.
What if you invited all your friends over to a Wing Zone Super Bowl party? Turned on the TV, and nothing happened. Where were the players? The crowd? And then it hits you. The team's probably sitting back enjoying a Wing Zone party, too.
Hey, number 31, Jason C. Horn. You can't sit home and have a Wing Zone party? Sure, Wing Zone wings are tempting, but someone's got to play defense.
So get back on the field and get the crowd back in the stadium and football fans at home. Let's get down to business of a first-rate Super Bowl party with Wing Zone and be glad you're able to enjoy tasty, mouth-watering wings. Wing Zone Jumbo Wings are fresh and made to order. Choose from 25 different Wing Zone flavors: spicy barbecue, mesquite, lemon pepper, or try Wing Zone's incredible nuclear honey teriyaki. And prices are sensational, too. Get 50 wings for just $19.99. Oh, yeah! So call 370-BIRD today and make your Super Bowl party the best one yet with Wing Zone. Call 370-BIRD. Wing Zone at 370-BIRD. Bird's the word.
A reminder that for every touchdown scored inside the red zone tonight, Dodge will donate $500 to the March of Dimes Foundation. Think Dodge different. We should have $500 donated for every return for a touchdown tonight. We'd have some money. No red zone plays at all tonight. Forget touchdowns. No red zone plays, period.
We even take $500 per first down, you wouldn't have that much.
So the Ravens get great field position at the Giant 38. They already lead 24-7 with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Dilfer hands off to Jamal Lewis for virtually no gain. Well, yesterday they announced the 7 finalists and the 7 inductees for Pro Football's Hall of Fame. One of them, Jack Youngblood, once played in a championship game and a Super Bowl with a broken leg.
Well, there's a good class right there. Excellent class. My buddy from Penn State, Mike Munchak, in the Hall of Fame, well-deserved. Jackie Slater, well-deserved.
Marv Levy. Marv Levy, one of the great all-time coaches. Many people thought that he might have been overshadowed by Bill Parcells, who did not get in. And, for probably all kinds of different reasons, many people think he's going to come back and coach.
Nick Bonacani got in.
Second down and 10. Giants blitz up the middle. Dilfer with a deep drop, throws over the middle, and on-time catch by Ben Coates down at the Giant 20-yard line and a first down for Baltimore. Others getting in. Lynn Swann, of course, had a great career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ron Yary, 7-time Pro Bowler tackle out of Southern Cal, who played with the Vikings and the Rams. Jackie Slater, who played 20 years in the NFL. I mentioned Youngblood. Marv Levy, I saw him last night at the Taste of the NFL, a terrific job by the NFL and their festivities that go on all this week. I asked Marv when he found out. He said he didn't get the call at 11:30, 11:35, 11:40. Wife saw it on television. She was jumping up and down on the bed in their hotel room. First and 10, Baltimore at the Giant 21. Lewis, off left tackle to the 19-yard line. 24-7 Baltimore. They have had 2 returns for touchdowns, an interception return, a kickoff return. Ron Dixon for the Giants, a kickoff return. And all of that stuff happened in about a 36-second span. Baltimore has won 17 straight, by the way, when leading after 3 quarters. And their defense is so good. They're in pretty good shape right now.
They are in very good shape. Totally in control of this football game. A couple of the attributes of the Baltimore Ravens. Great defense, no question about that. A great punter in Kyle Richardson, who really was pinning back the offense of the Giants continually throughout this football game.
Patrick Johnson in motion. We're going to get a flag.
You know who's played pretty well for these New York Giants today has been Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
Strahan's played well. Barrow's played well. Armstead's played well.
You know, the other thing here, too, is when you think about the Ravens and the way they play.
Encroachment, defense, 97, 5 yards. It's still second down.
Many people have said that Trent Dilfer goes out on the field and doesn't try to lose the game as opposed to trying to win the game. And watching this team, and I've seen, 10 of their films this year, Matt, I think if you're the quarterback, that's probably the way you have to play.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
I mean, it's got to be somewhat of a relief that you don't have to carry the whole team on your shoulders like most quarterbacks are asked to do. I mean, certainly Kerry Collins coming into this game had to do more for his team to win than Trent Dilfer did.
Second down at about 3 at the Giant 14. Lewis straight ahead over the pile, about a yard shy of a first down. Well, the Ravens have been saying all year, they go over to their defensive coordinator, Marvin Lewis, how many points we need? How many points we have to score offensively? And you get about 14, it should be enough.
2 good coaches here, incidentally. Marvin Lewis will get his shot as a head coach, I believe, shortly, as will
John Fox.
John Fox, both defensive coordinators, both good coaches, both ready.
One goes to Buffalo, one goes to Cleveland, possibly.
That's what's being said. Now, whether or not that happens or not remains to be seen, but both these guys are ready to take the next step.
Well, the job in Detroit's filled, I heard.
That's what I've heard.
First red zone play by either team. Third down and 2. They hand to Lewis into the heart of the line. First down inside the 5-yard line of the Giants. Sam Garnes may have just delayed the inevitable, as it is a first down for Baltimore at the Giant 3-yard line.
You know, this is the other thing that happens to a team when you're playing the Ravens. You go 3 and out, 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 and your defense spends an awful lot of time on the field.
Yeah, you know, just got away with a nice hold there was Ben Coates on Ryan Phillips.
And when you look at this, New York has had 10 possessions today, guys. On all of those 10 possessions, it's been 3 plays or less.
3 and out?
Yep.
On 10 possessions?
Oh, 1 and out, too.
Could be 1 and out. Yep.
First and goal, Baltimore. The pitch to Lewis, trying to run wide to the corner. Looking, and he gets over the pylon for a touchdown as the ball comes loose, but apparently he crossed the goal line first. Sam Gatch with a heck of a block, and Jamal Lewis gets his first Super Bowl touchdown.
Jamal Lewis just decides he's not going to be stopped, lowers his shoulder, runs over Michael Barrow. Oh, that's awful close.
Very, very close. He actually
stretched
close. Michael Barrow and he collide, and then I believe it's Cornelius Griffith, who comes in and tries to clean up, and as Griffith gets there,
oh, that's a fumble.
The ball
that is a fumble
loose before. There you go.
If it goes through the
they blew
a touchback.
Yeah, they stopped the point after. Jerry Austin blew the whistle to stop the point after. Jim Fassel is probably going to want to challenge that touchdown. And he'd be right to do that. Well, Jim Fassel As recently as, 1975, not that recently, but in 75, he was an air conditioner salesman, and he said he was miserable. And I don't know that he was more miserable then than he is right now.
Well, now, that's going to happen. See, the ball came loose, and it was signaled touchdown. Yeah, but once they signaled touchdown,
you can't review it.
Exactly. No. The recovery wouldn't matter.
The Giants are challenging the call on the field of a touchdown.
But you know who recovered it, though.
Yeah, but it wouldn't matter.
All right. Ismail recovered it.
See, but that won't matter. That would, because as soon as he puts his hands up, that stops the play, and so it won't make a difference who covered it. This will actually be a touchback.
Getting another look at it. Jamal Lewis has the ball in his left hand. He gets a heck of a shot from Barrow. And then Griffin comes over.
That's a fumble.
Yep.
I would agree.
A flat-out fumble.
I would agree. Well, we have 8:45 left in the game, and the Ravens still have a command of this contest, 30-7.
Even if I remember this properly, once he puts his hands in the air, that's like a whistle.
Right.
And so if it's like a whistle, both teams have to have the same and equal opportunity to get to the football. Even if Qadri Ismail comes over and gets the recovery because the hands go up, that's going to be a touchback.
Well, Jerry Austin checking it out. By the way, everybody who listens to us on Monday Night Football during the regular year realizes that this is Matt Millen's final broadcast for Westwood One and CBS Radio Sports. We will certainly miss Matt and wish him nothing but the best of success.
I can't wait to do a Detroit Lions game so I can second guess every move he's made.
Neither can I. I can't wait either for another reason.
What did he do that for? Who the hell's running this team?
The other thing, the other thing he said that when he said, and I've got it on tape. He said that when we go in there to do a Monday night game, he's kicking network television out and putting them in our booth, and we're going to get the network television booth.
So you better do that, buddy.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I know one thing. You'll eat good when you're in Detroit.
I know we will. We'll have hamburgers. We'll have all kinds of steaks, ribs.
So, and Al Rosenberg, who's one of our top flight engineers, actually is the engineer for the Detroit Lions. So all game long, Al's been sucking up to Matt. I mean, it's actually embarrassing.
Just make sure he keeps his job. That's all. Matt's cleaning house.
We're giving him a bump.
As we sit here and we wait for Jerry Austin, he's over there looking at the coach's challenge, trying to determine whether or not, in fact, Jamal Lewis fumbled the football as he crossed the goal line.
Well, it has been a great 2000 NFL season, and on behalf of the NFL and all 32 clubs, we'd like to thank you for supporting your favorite team this year. And we'll see you, of course, next season. We have one more game to do, the Pro Bowl in Honolulu.
I'll be there.
They're forcing us to go there against our will, but we will show up.
Your daughter's here today, Boomer?
Yeah, Sydney's with me today. Got her last week. Sydney's with me today. Hi, Sid. How you doing?
Okay. You know what's funny? We walk into the stadium, and on the big score, on the big screens up ahead, she sees her brother. All right, here's Jerry Austin. Tell us about it.
After reviewing the play, the call stands as made on the field. Touchdown.
I think it's a bad call.
I do too. It's unanimous. But
remember this. There has to be clear evidence to overturn the call. He might see this as being unsure about it.
It has to be indisputable visual evidence. And at that point, it doesn't look like there's control when he's going over. But it's a moot point anymore. It's not going to make a difference whether it's 24 or 30, 31. At this point, this history, boys.
I'm afraid you're right. If you're the Giants, it's going to really make a miserable ride home to New Jersey. 31-7 Ravens with 8:45 to go in the game. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
It surrounds you with a safety cage body structure. It cushions you with head impact protection and front airbags that deploy at different levels depending on conditions. It offers you available supplemental side airbags. It pre-tensions your seatbelts to help disperse impact energy. The all-new Dodge Caravan. Different. It's not a minivan. It's a mini vault. P.S. Always wear your seatbelts. And remember, the back seat is the best place for children under 12.
Drivers face many distractions in the car. Don't let your wireless phone be one of them. Before using your wireless phone while driving, ask yourself, will this call distract me from my first responsibility to drive safely? Also, use your phone's hands-free option. Remember, state laws prohibit distracted driving. The wireless phone industry reminds you to drive safely. Safety, your most important call. Visit www.driveresponsibly.org.
6 plays, 38 yards, a 17-yard touchdown, a 17-yard pass, rather. Dilfer to coach set up the touchdowns of Jamal Lewis of 3 yards and a score. We go down.
Guys, you'll never see the officials high-fiving after a play, but it got almost as close. Tony Viteri, the head linesman who made that call after they went under the hood and counseled, the field judge came over to Tony, kind of said, nice going. Good call. That's about as close as they get.
You're exactly right, James. And here's something else that's about as close as it gets. I was just handed a Super Bowl 35 most valuable player ballot, and I'm not so sure who the heck to put on here.
I couldn't tell you. There's nobody really who stood out in this game.
Ron Dixon fields the kickoff at the 11-yard line. He's had one return for a touchdown. He's across the 20, 25 to the 30, tries to get outside, fumbles the ball, and the Ravens have recovered it at the 35 of the Giants. Stick a fork in them, boys. This one's done.
You know, Britney Spears, maybe I should vote for her.
Robert Bailey recovers the fumble by Ron Dixon. Then with 8.5 to play in the game, the Ravens are starting to celebrate. They lead it 31-7. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
How does the Rubbermaid storage shed compare to an untreated wooden shed? Well, this is a baseball bat striking the Rubbermaid shed. A bat striking the wood shed. Termites tasting the Rubbermaid shed. Termites tasting the wood shed. Your teenage son backing into the Rubbermaid shed. Backing into the wood shed. Remember, if it doesn't say Rubbermaid, it's not worth it.
New extra-strength Rolaids profiles superfan Tom Dolan.
Baseball, it's about pacing yourself. Amateurs, after the first inning, they give out. Me, I work up to it. First inning hot dogs, second inning cheese fries, third chili dogs. By the seventh inning stretch, it's new Rolaids. Extra strength.
New extra-strength Rolaids with even more acid-neutralizing power to wipe out heartburn fast. New extra-strength Rolaids starts working in less than 10 seconds. Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed.
Eighth inning, bratwurst.
Is your job getting in the way of your love of sports? Imagine, you could be spending the afternoon at a favorite athletic event. Instead, you're stuck at your desk making a living. But not if you have Arch Webster 100 wireless email service and the Motorola T900 communicator. It lets you read and reply to all your business emails from anywhere in the U.S., especially a nice warm stadium seat. Call Arch at 1-866-ARCH-123. That's 1-866-ARCH-123.
It's been a great 2000 NFL season, and on behalf of the NFL and all 32 clubs, we'd like to thank you for supporting your favorite team this year. See you again next season.
Well, Baltimore gave up 16 points in 3 playoff games. Counting today is 23 points in 4 playoff games. And their defense, which has been put to the test, once again has proven that they are the real deal. First and 10, Baltimore at the Giant 34 following the 5th turnover by the Giants. Lewis straight ahead to the 30, breaks a tackle. Sehorn finally drags him down at the 20-yard line. And Jamal Lewis closing in on 100 yards for the day.
Well, this is the part of the game now where the defense just is selling out. They've been on the field, it seems like, the entire second half. It's going to be very difficult to tackle Jamal Lewis as he comes flying through the middle of the pack of the defense. Legs churning. This is exactly what you're talking about, Matt. Sure. This is the best part of his game. Straight ahead, downhill. And this part of the game is where a great running back takes over.
Well, he's got 25 carries for 95 yards and the 1 touchdown. Starting to emerge as a big-time back, the rookie from Tennessee who had a huge year with over 1,300 yards. Trying to add to it again. Breaks a tackle to the 20. Puts his shoulder down. Pops another Giant loose at the 18-yard line before Sean Williams makes the stop. Jamal Lewis had 1,364 yards, second best amongst rookies to Denver's Mike Anderson. It was a great story this year.
Oh, it was a fantastic story, but this Jamal Lewis is... He got a slow start, don't forget, because he was coming off a dislocated elbow at the start of the season. He had it in a scrimmage against the Redskins. And then he came on strong. His style, though, his style is really a function of the offensive line, and it's more to the side of the offensive line being physical. And the more he goes, the better he gets.
Well, Lewis is starting to lay claim, perhaps, to the MVP of the game. Chuck Evans in the game at fullback. He gets the carry, but I think they stopped the play.
There's a fumble at the snap there, it looked like, Howard.
Dilfer, you're right.
Maybe that was the other game you were looking at.
That could be.
You know, you start talking about...
I'm trying to find a better one.
Start talking about the MVPs moving, and we were talking about that in the commercial and also in the last segment, but I think the point is defensively, both these teams have been strong. Nobody really has stood out. Nobody's really identified themselves as the guy who stood above everybody else. Neither offense, that's for sure.
And you look
there was a turning point.
Right, and then the turning point was the interception by Dwayne Starks, and he read perfectly the play that Monty Toomer was trying to run and stepped right in front of him and took it back for a touchdown.
Lewis straight ahead for a couple of yards. 6 minutes left in the game. Baltimore on top 31-7. The Ravens, who were named after one of Edgar Allan Poe's or his most famous book, The Raven.
Well, you know, you were talking about how it was going to be a long ride back to the Meadowlands for the Giants, and unfortunately for myself and my teammates in Cincinnati in Super Bowl 23, we lost the game, and it takes you months to get over this, and I'm sure Kerry Collins is going to have nightmares. He'll sleep for about 45 minutes, wake up, sleep for about 45 minutes, wake up again, and that's going to go on for a couple weeks.
Stover for a 35-yard field goal try, and he delivers it, so the Ravens increase their lead to 34-7 with 5:28 left in the game. A break in the action. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood One.
What a play! Yeah. Well, if you like that, you'll love this play from Planters.
Bring it on.
Planters is giving away an all-expense-paid trip for 10 to next year's big game. Get out! Get in! The winner will take 9 friends to New Orleans for the weekend. Go to the game, join players at a tailgate, and more.
That's nuts.
Nope, it's Planters.
Get the nuts together for the big game. Look under the labels of specially marked Planters nuts for your chance to win instantly.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Call 1-877-346-3677 for official rules. Must be legal U.S. resident, 18 years or older. Game ends 4/30/01. Odds of winning are about 1 in 5 million.
The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan has the most available horsepower of any minivan you can buy. Now, obviously, you're not about to drive your Caravan like a Viper, so why should you care how much power a minivan has? Oh, if, say, you'd like to merge onto the highway or pass a truck. And with available all-wheel drive, the Caravan can also make quick work of the elements. The all-new Dodge Caravan. Powerfully, grippingly different.
Ravens following the field goal by Stover. Now Stover to kick it off. Heading over to the far sideline. And it is picked up by Damon Washington at the 5. Running up the right to the 20. And gets spilled at about the 23-yard line. Jamal Lewis with 101 rushing yards. The second best by a rookie running back in a Super Bowl. Tim Smith in 1988 ran for then a Super Bowl record. 200 and still is a 212 yards.
Timmy, never to be heard from again.
204 yards, I stand corrected.
No, you sit corrected.
Yes, I do. 22 carries, by the way, for Smith that day for 204 yards. What a day he had. So the Giants, who have turned it over 5 times. Collins goes out of a shotgun formation, takes the direct snap, looks to the right and throws a low ball that is incomplete. Well, if you're the Giants now, you look at what has happened to them today. I mean, here is a team that was 7-4 in October, and then, of course, Jim Fassel, after losing back-to-back to St. Louis and Detroit, said, I guarantee we're going to the playoffs, and that served to motivate his team, apparently. They started to unite as a football team, and they have gone this far. They got the #1 seed in the AFC. They have succumbed to an outstanding defensive performance by Baltimore.
Well, I think, you know, what happens if you play against a defense like this is a quarterback, you speed up your decision-making, and Kerry never really got a chance to settle down.
Collins throws it on the run, and the ball goes through the hands of Mike Hilliard. Hilliard had the big game 2 weeks ago against Minnesota with 10 receptions, and he has been held in check today by the Baltimore secondary.
Well, everybody's been held in check.
Yeah, we talked about that at the start. We knew this wasn't going to be the same kind of thing. Minnesota's defense just never showed up. But this game here, you knew that this Raven defense was going to be tough. And then But again, he had opportunities, and he never slowed himself down. He started eyeballing things. He just did not play well. We said at the start of the game that how he handled pressure, which quarterback handled pressure the best would win. And Trent Dilfer made a couple of throws early. Really, his 10 points was all they needed.
Collins takes the snap, Chase dishes it off to Tiki Barber, who's tripped up across the 25. 4:55 left in the ball game. The Ravens have already put this one away. They're ahead 34-7. A reminder to stay tuned for the Novell post-game report with Tommy Tighe. He'll recap all the highlights. We'll hear from both locker rooms. That's coming up after the game, brought to you by Novell, the power to change. Well, the will is a source of power that exists inside everyone, and today the will of the Ravens was just too much. And they did what they had to do. Their defense just clamped down on the Giants early.
So much for distractions. Play well. So much for distractions.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. Flag is down. Jermaine Lewis to the 45, stopped to the 50, and then just dances out of bounds at the Giant 48-yard line. But there was a flag on the play.
I mean, all week long, everybody was wondering, would the distractions of the early press conferences of the Ravens, infect their mind anyway and take them away from the game. And the one thing about the Ravens defense that you can sense when you're around them and you see them.
Holding during the kick. Number 21 of the receiving team. 10 yards, first down.
No, Matt, and I don't know if you sense this. I do, certainly. The more turmoil, it seems like the better they are, the more thuggery there is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what happens, though? You
the Oakland A's mentality.
We were talking about
this Raiders mentality.
Is all that talk and all that stuff, it only matters after the fact.
Right.
And we talked about that just this afternoon when we were speaking to some of the affiliates. And now that the game's over, at the 4:10 mark at 34-7, you say, you know what, they prepared themselves. They were ready. They were confident in all those things, but the reality of it is it doesn't matter until you play.
That's exactly right. None of it matters.
Tony Banks is now in to mop it up. The Trent Dilfer and the Ravens, and Priest Holmes in at running back. You tell they got a new running back. He's got a clean uniform. He takes the handoff. Holmes across the 30 to the 35-yard line. There have been 3 teams that have gone without an offensive touchdown in the Super Bowl. Most recently, you'd have to go back a ways. Super Bowl IX, Pittsburgh beat Minnesota 16-6. A block punt recovery in the end zone was the only touchdown for Minnesota.
Well, the interesting thing in watching the way that the Ravens win games, I mean, this is the recipe for them the entire season, especially the last 6 or 7 games, where they just had enough offense to put some points on the board, and then their defense just clamped down and scored points for them, as did their special teams.
Priest Holmes running left, slowed up at about the 37-yard line. Well, the Giants, now that they have finished first in their division, the schedule's going to be harder next year.
Brutal. It's not going to be easy for them next year.
Well, the only good thing is that they're still in the NFC East, where you have 2 teams, the Cowboys and the Cardinals, that seem like they're going to be in rebuilding phases again.
Yeah, but you know that Philadelphia is going to be good.
They'll be good.
Washington, you'd have to think, was going to, they had enough talent to be better than they were. It didn't work out this year, but you have to believe that they're going to be a team that they'll have to contend with. Kip Vickers is in the game at left guard for Baltimore. Spencer Fowler is in at left tackle for Jonathan Ogden. And Holmes is dragged down by Keith Hamilton in the backfield. So it's 3 and out for Baltimore, but all they want this thing to do is get over with. 2.5 to play. The only thing better than a down-to-the-wire Super Bowl is down-to-your modem highlights and exclusive photos from the game. Check out SuperBowl.com, the official site of Super Bowl 35, powered by CBSSportsline.com.
Well, you tell that this one run down to the 2-minute warning right here, boys.
Well, you can say what you want about Trent Dilfer, and certainly I've had my opportunity to kind of pick him apart a little bit today because of some of the missed throws. But, how must he feel being in this stadium, in this city? And he is walking away, my friends, with one of those very rare pieces of jewelry, a Super Bowl ring that we all wish we could have had as we play this game as well.
Yep. 2 minutes remaining in the game. 34-7 Baltimore. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 35 on Westwood Lawn.
Quality care service at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealerships doesn't end on the weekend. Saturday hours make it easy to get the service your vehicle needs and the convenience you want. Come in for great deals like a Motorcraft Tested Tough battery, just $59.95, with an 18-month free replacement period. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices. That's quality care on Saturdays, too.
MSRP with exchange. Installation and taxes extra. See Service Advisor for service hours, price details, and a copy of the limited warranty. Offer expires 3/18/2001.
Toshiba Digital Home Media is always there for you. When your team is winning, Toshiba HD TV provides power focus optic technology so you can celebrate in front of the clearest picture imaginable. And when your team is losing by 40 points, Toshiba DVD is there for you with precision filtering when you turn off the game and decide to put on your favorite movie. If only everyone could be as caring as Toshiba, what a wonderful world this would be. Toshiba, HD TV, and DVD. It's that kind of love.
Big Blue has discovered the magic of playing in New Jersey. Shouldn't you? Stroll along white sand beaches, feel like a pro, or catch the excitement of Atlantic City by night. Just make sure to leave time for some world-class shopping and five-star dining. New Jersey, it's your ticket to the perfect vacation. For your free travel guide, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ, extension 1944. That's 1-800-VISIT-NJ. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
How does America get back to business? At Office Depot, you'll find everything your business needs to start the new year. From files to folders, boxes to binders, cabinets to copy paper. Nobody sells more office products to more businesses than Office Depot. So whether you visit our store, shop online, or order by phone, you'll find guaranteed low prices every day on everything you need to succeed. Office Depot, official sponsor of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
34-7 Baltimore. And the punting unit comes on. Richardson has had a very busy day with a high punt to Ike Hilliard. Fields it at the 25, looking for running room, and dropped it about the 22-yard line. Tough day for the Giants, Matt. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Boomer?
Well, I definitely think the Giants definitely should have run the 64 toss power trap, and they probably would have had a much better day.
Okay, Boomer, your voice is changing. You're much prettier than Boomer, I might add.
My daughter Danny.
Yes, absolutely. 64 toss power trap. What are you, Hank Stram?
Here we go, boys.
Hit him in a swoosh.
So matriculating down the field.
There you go.
Very nice. Exactly. See, I give her a little rope. She's going to hang me. Collins on the draw to Tiki Barber. Right now, her mother is dying downstairs.
I had to have my moment. The Millen and Esiason children all had their moment. I felt a little deprived.
Yes, you've had your moment. Thank you very much. Boom. Well, I don't think you have to look any further. I don't think we have to look any further for Matt's replacement, do you?
Let me just tell you something. When the game stinks, we'll just put anybody on. It doesn't matter.
Collins flushed out of the pocket and hits Barber at the 30. And he is taken off his feet as he crosses the 30 by Corey Harris. Well, the Baltimore team is going to wind up winning their 11th straight game. I mean, that is getting the job done.
Well, it was a fantastic year for the Baltimore Ravens. It was an excellent year by these New York Giants as well. And they did something few teams could do. They got to this game. Yeah, they fell apart a little bit here, but they really did have themselves an excellent year.
Collins throws out to the right, and the catch is made by Pete Mitchell. His first catch of the ball game. Pete Mitchell was voted the sexiest man in the Super Bowl this year, and then Tony Saragusa said, they've never seen me with the proper clothing on.
The Goose. He's going to be a mouthful after this game, huh, Matt?
Who won the MVP?
How about Shannon Sharp? I don't mean for the MVP, I mean for the Mouth of the Year award. Collins off a direct snap. Throws it over the middle. It is kicked in the air and nearly picked off by Brad Jackson. He had one thought in his mind, make the interception and go for touchdown, because there was nobody in his way. Brian Billick is going to win a Super Bowl. He was criticized earlier in the week for his stance on the whole Ray Lewis situation, but one cannot take away from what the Ravens have accomplished this year. And Ray Lewis apparently was called the MVP. I think I heard right.
They called Ray Lewis the MVP. They called the MVP. I disagree with that.
I disagree with it too.
Sam Adams played more effectively up front than did Ray Lewis.
Collins throws out to the right and is nearly picked off from the secondary by Dwayne Stark. 16 seconds left in the game. 34-7 Baltimore. Largest margin of victory since Dallas beat Buffalo. 52-17 in Super Bowl XXVII. And our colleague James Lofton played in that, one of the 3 Super Bowls James played in. Dockery played in Super Bowl 3. Millen played in 4 of them. Boomer Esiason in Super Bowl 23. So between the 5 of us, we have played in 9 Super Bowls.
Well, if Ray Lewis is the defensive
between
MVP.
the 5 of us, we have played in
I heard you
9
said.
Super Bowls.
I heard it. You heard it, you ignored it, move on. You know, if Ray Lewis is the defensive, if he is the MVP, he's the 6th defensive MVP. There he is, 6th defensive MVP. Boy, this guy come full. Chuck Howley, Jake Scott, Randy White, Richard Dent, and Larry Brown. And now add Ray Lewis. And remember, this time last year, Ray Lewis found himself in an awful lot of trouble down in Atlanta. A double murder charge, and he fought his way back. Basically, no question he's a great player. I will never question him as a player on the football field without question. The best, one of the best, and could be one of the best ever. If he stays healthy
on the carry, I'm not sure he's got enough. Doesn't make any difference. Silver Boys, this game is they still show 3 seconds on the clock. They haven't run it off yet, but they should. Well, this one has been over for a while. Now they do. 34-7 Baltimore.
And a fitting end for a game where you try to run the ball to get a first down, and you can't even do that. And the Raven defense shows itself again.
I wonder if the total yards were for today for the New York Giants and also for the Baltimore Ravens, because I guarantee they're both are under 300 yards, which is excellent defense.
So it was what
Art Modell got himself a Super Bowl win finally.
Well, it's not going to be a popular decision in Cleveland.
No, it's not. But he is the hero in Baltimore. You know, when the Colts left, when the Irsays moved the Colts, that was a city that had a very proud history that has now found themselves with a Super Bowl. And Brian Billick and these guys deserve a lot of credit. And
total yards for Baltimore,
245.
For the New York Giants,
146.
Brutal.
Art Modell in his 40th year in the National Football League. His first Super Bowl appearance. The 1964 Cleveland Browns, by the way, beat Baltimore for the World Championship. That's before they called it Super Bowl, obviously. But the Mara family, they've been involved in the NFL since 1925. Let's go down with one of the winners, and James Lofton. James?
Well, guys, I'm with Qadri Ismail, one of the star receivers for the Ravens. Everybody talked about defense, but it looked like you guys played some pretty good offense today.
Man, we wanted to go out there and show them all we got to do is go out there and play our style. And we know we can come up with some points. We know we can help our team win. All that nonsense about our defense only, we all had to do was just stay composed and stay together as a team, and that's what we did.
Now, early in the ballgame, we got to talk to Rondé Barber, Tiki's twin brother. Is your brother here today?
My brother's here today. I had a chance to talk with him earlier on before the game, and he just encouraged me, and it's a great, great feeling. Now the Ismail family not only has a national championship from the NCAA, but we also have a world championship from the NFL.
So which finger are you going to put that thing on?
Well, I'm debating. I know I have some crooked fingers from catching some tough passes, but I'm debating on whether or not I want to put it on my ring finger on my right hand or my middle finger on my right hand. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Wherever you put it, it's going to look awfully good. John Dockery, you know a little bit about Super Bowl rings.
Yes, I do know a little bit about Super Bowl rings. I'm with the man who gets his first Super Bowl ring after 14 years, Rod Woodson. What's it like?
Oh, it's a wonderful feeling. You know, it's hard to put it into words. You know, you're the best team in the National Football League this year. Everything, all your goals you set at the beginning of the football season, they got accomplished. I mean, you just can't say enough, man. I mean, it hasn't set in yet. I think it's going to be a couple days before it all sets in.
What turned this season around? Was it the change at quarterback in mid-year?
I think a little everything, you know. I think the change of quarterback. I think fighting through the 3-game losing streak that we had, you know, fighting through the 20-some quarters, our offense had not scoring. We stuck together. We never pulled apart. I mean, this is the ultimate team sport, and we played a good football team. It was a good game today.
What makes this defense so good?
And speed, belief. We have a belief that we can shut anybody out. We went out there, and I think they didn't score on the defense. I mean, it's 34-7. We played well. I mean, Marvin's done a wonderful job, but we got with our coaching staff and all the good players we have on the football team, flying around having some fun, only good things can happen.
Rod Woodson, congratulations. James Lofton,
well, I'm here with Trent Dilfer. Trent, you came out slinging right in the first half. A lot of passes, touchdown pass to Stokely earlier. How does it feel now?
I don't know. I've never felt anything this good. You know, we expected to do this, but I think the most gratifying thing is looking before the game in the eyes of my teammates in the locker room, and then looking back, and we just knew. We knew we were the best football team in football. We knew we were a group of guys that would die for one another, and I think that's what it's all about.
You and I talked before the ball game. You had been released by the Buccaneers in March, didn't know what your future was going to hold. Could you have imagined a better script?
No, but the last month I've meditated on a verse in the Bible. Everything's possible for him who believes. And I really thank God that he has developed character in me through the hard times. Every morning I wake up and I say, God, thank you that life's difficult sometimes.
Now, you went into the locker room with an injury. Were you going to let a little pinky keep you out of the Super Bowl?
No, I told them I didn't want to go off, but they thought I broke my hand, so they were making me get an x-ray. I was so mad, but at the same time, you got to let the people know what they're doing do it.
Well, Trent Dilfer, how does it sound, Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl champion?
I don't know. I can't comprehend it right now.
John Dockery, a lot's going on up here. I don't know who you got on the other side, but you take it away.
I got one of his favorite targets, Trent's favorite target, Shannon Sharp. Shannon, can you describe the emotion?
It feels great. All the experts had while we were going to lose the ball game. But you know what? I say we have the best defense ever assembled. They displayed it today. Now, there's no doubt in anybody's mind. That is the best 11 guys ever assembled.
Whoa. Third Super Bowl in 4 years for you. Can you compare them, describe it?
No, I can't compare them because the first one was great. But I think this was better because no one gave us a chance. We came out of nowhere. The only people that believed was those people in the locker room. And we stuck together, no animosity. We don't care who gets the credit. All we care about is wins, and we won today.
Congratulations, Shannon Sharp. Now back upstairs.
All right, Doc. Well, let's join the celebration on the field. Before we do that, join Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. Matt, you've been part of 4 Super Bowl champions, and you know what it takes to dedicate yourself for a season. And before we do that, let's go down to the Commissioner Paul Tagliabue as he presents the Vince Lombardi Trophy to Art Modell.
Over a strong Giants team. We congratulate you. We congratulate all of your players and Coach Billick and his staff, your whole organization for bringing this Super Bowl championship back to Baltimore and to Baltimore's great fans for the first time in 3 decades. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner, thank you very much. To the people in Baltimore City, to the people in Baltimore County, and to the state of Maryland, this belongs to you.
Mr. Modell, for you, I know this is the completion of a dream. For the people who have followed your franchise for 40 years from Cleveland and to Baltimore, what do you have to say to them all?
I'm grateful to so many people. I want to pick out my family, my son David, my son John, Brian Billick, the best coach in the National Football League, Ozzie Newsome, and wait a second, and my boss, Pat Modell. A little chair, please.
Congratulations, Art. Congratulations. Let me bring in Brian Billick. This is an amazing thing. In just your 2nd year as the head coach in Baltimore, you're bringing the title back to Maryland. How did you do it?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been at this profession a while, but these guys here taught me this year for the first time in 25 years in business about what really teamwork is. And it's because of these guys right here.
Your team had a certain swagger all week. We could see it here. And on the field today, again, you just shut down the Giants, forced 5 turnovers. Tell me, does this validate your defense maybe as the best in the history of the National Football League?
I'm biased, but who cares? Someone tell me they're not. I'll argue it to the death.
Congratulations, Brian. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the most valuable player of Super Bowl 35, voted on by...
All right, let's go to John Dockery.
Thank you, Howard. I'm with Jermaine Lewis. And Jermaine, congratulations. What does a win like this mean to the Baltimore Ravens?
I mean, it's great. All our hard work is paying off for us. You know, we're a championship team now. We can just hold this feeling forever. We just work hard and good things happen.
What a nice scene with your little son on your shoulders here. I know you've been through some rough times. Does this help to make up a little bit?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is I mean, this is just a wonderful end to the year, and everything's just turning out good for us, and I'm just appreciative of all the things that God has given me.
Did the team think they could get one on the return today? Did you think so?
I thought so. I was confident that I can get something. I knew all I had to do was just stay on my feet, and I would score.
Congratulations. James Lofton, over to you.
I'm standing next to Marvin Lewis, who is watching his premier player, Ray Lewis, get interviewed as the Super Bowl MVP. And I won't ask you any questions about your future because I think today is the day that you need to enjoy, right?
That's right. No question. It's all the credit goes to the defensive players, the defensive coaches. Just been outstanding, and as you see, they want to show people how good they are, and no question today they came out to play with that passion and set a standard they had all year, and this is the outcome.
I mean, could you imagine that you would actually shut them out offensively after the performance that the Giants had against the Vikings?
Well, our guys are awful good, and we set a tempo like nobody else, and the only thing I wanted to see different was Woodson.
Marvin Lewis was just escorted away from me, lifted up on his shoulders by Webster and Michael McCreary. John Dockery, Coach of the Year, obviously on the defensive side of the ball.
A lot of joy here with the Baltimore Ravens, and Hunter Kyle Richardson's with me, and what a game for you today. Was that part of the game plan?
Yeah,
field position?
It's all the hype that was going into this game and how they're going to bring it down on me and Brad, the other punter. And it kind of turned that way because we both had a lot of attempts, but everybody made a lot of great plays. And once again, we just did it as a team, like we've been doing it for a long time all year. And, I just can't explain it right now. Shannon Sharp said, this is what you want is the confetti coming down on your head, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable right now.
Was there a moment in this season, in this game, that turned it all around? Something maybe Brian Billick said or somebody else said?
Well, Brian's been awesome all year, and it's always never been a doubt. Through that drought and everything, he kept saying, we're going to be the playoffs. Don't even worry about it. Nobody hesitated. Nobody doubted on our team. Everybody else did, but we didn't. And maybe when we turned the corner down in Tennessee, maybe that was it. The first game we won down there in Tennessee, that could have been it, but who knows? This is a team of team. We win as a team. That's the way it is. I can't explain it.
Kyle Richardson, you certainly won as a team today. Congratulations. Howard, up to you.
All right, Doc. Well, 30 years ago, the Colts beat the Cowboys 16-13. And it was Jim O'Brien who delivered the winning field goal 5 seconds left in the contest, as then the Baltimore Colts beat the Dallas Cowboys by 3. This Baltimore Raven team didn't want it to be this close, and their special teams and their defense just dominated the Giants 34-7.